Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what time it is. We back with another one of them things. We're going to have a whole lot of discuss tonight involving the Chicago Bulls. You know, Billy Donovan, Zach LaVine, the whole crew, Io DeSumo. Right now, they're in a hell of a game in the fourth quarter, 119-118. Bulls up one with 27 seconds remaining in overtime. The Bulls currently are number 11 in the Eastern Conference, currently outside of the playoff picture. That's not where we expect the Bulls. See Red Nation, that's not what no one expected. And I want to pose many questions tonight, and many of them will be involving and surrounding Mr. Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls. I want to discuss his future. You know, some people feel like it's going to be a year, it's going to be two, it's going to be, who knows? But I'm here to let you know, and I stated this before with previous other coaches. You know, Billy Donovan, this I think he's coaching his last days. Every game is pivotal. You know, hopefully they can continue to climb out of this slump that they found themselves in at the beginning of the season. That was a big game in Milwaukee. Hopefully they could catapult themselves back into position, and we're going to get all into it tonight. We're going to get all the scores around the league tonight too as well. Shout out to all the chat that's in here. Rap Guy Reloaded, Basil, Lamont, Jessica, all y'all in the building. We love y'all, man. It's Flight Sports, all access. What's the deal, Dex? Talk to the people. We live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. Shout out to the panel, shout out to the chat, and shout out to everybody rocking with the Flight Sports TV this Friday evening after a total gumption of turkey, collard greens, cornbread, stuffing, cranberries, mashed potatoes, macaroni cheese. I'm talking about layers of cheese. And everything else, potato salad or coleslaw, depending on what side of the fence you was raised. Flight, all I can say is I'm overloaded with turkey. And I'm talking literally. And this turkey has me a little sluggish. But guess what, Flight? I'm going to power through it. I promise I'm going to power through it. So with all the sluggish activity that you may feel from me, please have patience. Because it's the turkey, man. I know I overate. And that's something you shouldn't do. But unfortunately, I did. I was a grubber. And now I'm suffering from all the things I grubbed on. But Flight, there was a lot of basketball played tonight, and they're still playing. This Friday has been a total train ride for the NBA. I mean, we have games all over the place. We have upsets. We have the Bulls in action. I know, Flight, you want to get to Billy Donovan. And you've been calling for Billy Donovan, the axe, Oh my God, Flight. I just saw the final score. Chicago
Yep,
lost.
and I didn't want to say nothing. They
Oh
just
my
messed
God.
around and lost again. In overtime
No,
to the young Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea Gilgeous put a hurting on them.
no.
Man, see red. It's not as listen. I'm trying to. We still struggling to figure out what has happened to see Red Nation. This is very troubling to me. On how the Bulls have found themselves in this nasty situation. They got to get themselves out of this hole. You know, we got questions. I gotta look at the box score. Shea Gilgeous is a problem.
Right. The Bulls won 2. The three went into overtime. The Bulls was only mustered 9 points in 5 minutes. The Thunder's double figures. The Bulls defense, what their defense, the Oakland Thunder.
Yeah, shout out Lamont. Slim said the Matrix. That was another nasty loss for C Red Nation. Tonight, I want to give you the stat lines. I guess where we want to start. Let's start with the winning team. Obviously tonight, Shea Gilgeous. He put up all-star
And the
numbers.
goal
Thir-
to
30.
overtake Oklahoma City Thunder and
You breaking up a little bit. Your mic is
on
breaking up.
the red clay in
You
the
breaking
Midwest
up a little
America.
bit. You
I'm
you
still
you
breaking up.
broke up just about that whole. You broke up pretty much that whole situation.
What about now?
You much better now.
Well, I'm saying, like, I am flabbergasted to the point that my eyes are bulging out of my head looking at the score where the Chicago Bulls played good basketball. They won 3 out of the 4 quarters in regulation, albeit the game went into overtime and they couldn't even muster 10 points in 5 minutes. While the relentlessness of the Oklahoma City Thunder young core mustered up 13 points and eventually won the game in a 5 minute span. This is something of alarming for the Bulls that they could not get this victory minus their Secretary of Defense, Lonzo Ball. This is becoming a disturbing trend.
You
To
you you broke you broke.
mediocre teams way.
You breaking up. You breaking up. You got great points there.
I'm
Is
going in
that?
and out again.
Yeah, you good now.
Okay, what about
You
now?
good.
Okay, yeah. It's like I said, it is so disturbing. Like, this is a bad trend. I mean, they're beating good teams. Now they're losing to mediocre teams. Now you got come on, Bulls. Do you really want it? You have to ask yourself, do the Bulls really want it? Or they just playing it out, teasing the people that they some type of contender when they really are pretenders? That's the question that C Red must face in the mirror.
They definitely got to face that, man. Because losing tonight to the Oklahoma City Thunder wasn't good. Like I stated before, Shea Gilgeous tonight put up a 30 ball, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. They got some production from Josh Giddey. He damn near had a triple double with 10 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. Lou Dort, 12 points, 5 rebounds. They got play from pretty much everybody and the bench. Baisley has 17 points, so they got good production from a lot of people that you may not be familiar with either. So give major credit. We all know what's going on with the Chicago Bulls. Tonight they got good production from DeMar DeRozan. He seems to always be upwards of 30 points. He had 30 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, two
But what
steals.
is that going to do, Flight?
I
What is
understand.
DeMar DeRozan 30 points going to do? We need defense. They needed to clamp down in the final 5 minutes of overtime, and they couldn't do it. They could not close the deal. We don't care about DeMar DeRozan offensive output. He does it year in and year out. We sick of it. Play some freaking defense. Help your team. Sacrifice, my guy.
You're right. I mean, it sucks. And then you got Zach LaVine trailing behind him with 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists with a steal. So I guess the answer to the problems is put up more points, but that's not it's got them running in circles. Io DeSumo.
And that failed them last season, correct?
Yeah.
Thinking they can outscore teams.
Yeah, that's not the
They got plummeted in the playoff.
They need some severe coaching. You got Vooch tonight, double, 13 and 12. So shit, if you looking at stats, everybody did what they were supposed to do. You got your 30 from DeMar. You got a double from Vooch. This man Zach damn near put up a 30 piece too. This team really reminds me at times of the Denver Nuggets when they had Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson, where every night AI and Melo, they went for 30 points. That's what it's looking like is going on with these two right here. They need some help. They didn't get shit situated till Chauncey came. They need Chauncey. They need their version. They need a real point guard in here. That's the problem. And like I said, the team, you got the coaching is just, Billy Donovan, man, damn. You lost to Oklahoma City. This your old team. This wasn't a good look. The Bulls are struggling.
And I agree with Larry James. Benedict Mathurin is that dude. But at the same time, to get off of that and get back onto Chicago, this is a collapse. This was a 5-minute collapse. How do you have two of the more prolific scorers in the NBA, not just in the Eastern Conference, but in the NBA as a totality, and you can't muster up more than 9 freaking points? How can you be settled on 9 points? If you had 9 points, damn sure the other team should have had 3 points. You cannot have 9 points with these two prolific scorers, and you add Vooch. Come on, man. This is ultimately disrespectful. And the Bulls fans deserve better.
Yeah, man. This is sad and it's disgusting what is transpiring, with Chicago just from a season to a season. It's very lackluster, this year. I want to know who the hell gonna make the All-Star team this year from the Bulls. They're just gonna throw somebody on there just for a representative, because this is bullshit right here. This is wild. This ain't right. What's going on right here? DeMar DeRozan, he getting exposed like it's looking like the good old days where his points amount to nothing.
I wouldn't say that though, Flight. I wouldn't say that because DeMar DeRozan is like, what, he's like 35?
Somewhere around there. But he still never won the championship yet, so he's still playing. He's still playing like Chris Paul, like they're going all out in the regular season.
But listen to what I'm saying right here. I want this to stick on your brain. If DeMar DeRozan is in his mid-30s, and the NBA is younger as ever with supreme uberisk athleticism, nice young high IQ players, and these players are moving the needle to the point that getting their teams into conference finals. And you, the Bulls, is hinging your organization on an old head, and you expect all this spectacular play to come from something in his 30s and basketball? I mean, come on, man. That's dog tooth years in the NBA. Now, in life, 30's not old. You know 30's not old. But in basketball, that is nearly ancient. And anybody that can squeeze any kind of relevancy out of that 30 and 36 year, that 6 year mark in between 30 and 36, it's an anomaly in itself. Because we already know as many teams 30, as many players 400, you only have 2 or 3 in their 30s that are really relevant in this basketball landscape. So if the Bulls are rolling the dice on those type of unfavorable odds, somebody needs to be checked. And I'm talking about a checkup for the neck up for thinking that a 30-year-old something can bring your team the championship. And don't give me no LeBron freaking James. Don't give me no Stephen freaking Curry, because those guys have been winning in their 20s, going into their 30s. I'm talking about somebody haven't won nothing yet. And you hinge yourself with that type of ability and think that's going to garner you or even will you into a conference finals. Something's got to be wrong. That 30-year-old talent or resource should be saved for the second half of the season, going into the playoffs, not burning them out right now. So some have to give light. I don't know what it is, but something in Sea Red Nation has to give flight because they are hustling backwards. You can't let that happen. LeBron James is something out of a cartoon book. You can't think that because LeBron done it, other players can do it as well. No, that should never be your formula. Actually, that's weak into thinking you can pursue a championship with that formula. That's weak into thinking that you can pursue a championship with that formula. You cannot do it. You have to rearrange your approach, Chicago Bulls. I'm saying you got to rearrange, and you have to start now because it's not working. Putting DeMar out there on the dog leash, it's not working. Zach LaVine and DeMar and Vooch going to have to come to some type of consensus that defense should be primary, not secondary. Come on now. Defense should be primary, especially when you only got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes to hunker down and not let this one get away and close the deal. Why you're not closing the deal on teams that you know you should beat? You know you should beat them. Just because you beat the caliber of teams, the Milwaukees, the Miamis, the Boston Celtics of the world, doesn't mean you can relax on these other teams. You got to feast on these cellar dwellers. These guys don't know how to win. Somebody said Oklahoma City is a good team. Okay, good team would mean what? What do you mean good team? You mean are they competitive? I give you that. Good team, I don't know about that. Because these guys have never even sniffed the playoffs since Billy Donovan left. They've been in shambles. So you telling me that all of a sudden they mental capability has surpassed the Chicago Bulls mental capable ability when the Chicago Bulls had been seated in the number one slot less than a year ago? I'm telling you, Flight, it ain't right, man. It's not right. Something has to go. Some type of changes must be made
Right.
because we are reminiscent of what happened last season when they have a whole season to deal with the absence of their Secretary of Defense, Lonzo Ball. They had a whole season to deal with him. Half of last season, now half of this season. Where are the adjustments?
They look a mess. Shit looking catastrophic, man. And if this continues, I don't know, where they're gonna be. But it's just very upsetting that they're falling out the picture like this. I just think that they need a new coach. Like I stated before, you got two isolation heavy players. It's not a perfect mix, perfect blend of talent, but it's talent clearly here. So they need to get the right coach to put people in the right situation. Somebody that can go to DeMar DeRozan and tell him what to do. Somebody that can go to Zach and say, no, don't do that. We're going to do this. Who Billy Donovan is that guy. So they're in serious trouble. They need these players, they got egos. So they got to get somebody to come in here to sort this shit out. I don't know if you want to keep Billy firing some of his staff. I mean, I don't know. The Bulls strike me as the type of organization that's going to fire him at the end of the year. They're not just going to fire him in the middle of the season. They just going to be nice. Even the Lakers didn't do that. The Lakers.
But he won a championship. Don't do that, Flight. Don't do
Luke
that.
Luke Walton. I was going to go to Luke.
Well, that was some, scaryless type activities going on over there.
Some organizations, though this man need to be fired.
Yeah, you can't use the Lakers because there's a whole lot going on there. The Bulls are differently constructed than the flower children of the Los Angeles Lakers. Big difference.
Right, you're right. But some organizations, to me, they just let the coach finish out and then they fire him at the end of the year. So I think the Bulls are going to do something like that.
You might be right. You might be right. But only thing I'm saying listen, PB and Patch, you act like the Bulls are struggling so bad when we really aren't. That's crazy. No, Patch, brother, listen to what we're saying. See, please listen to what we're saying. Don't have that cognitive dissonance. We're looking at something that's on the downside. Do you really look at the Bulls and say they're really surging, even though they beat Milwaukee, even though they beat the Celtics? Do you really look at the Bulls with your eyes and say, man, this team going to get it done? Do you really? So if you're not seeing that, then we're going to see a repeat of what happened last year, an early exit, or maybe not even an exit. So that's why we ring the alarms right now. We want you to come face to face with the flaws of the Chicago Bulls, and these flaws are becoming self-evident, where you ain't got to shift through nothing to find them. You ain't got to look for a needle in a haystack. These flaws are obvious. We know what's going on. That ISO-ness and all that is crazy, right? We know this, Patch. So if we're seeing the results of that last season, how that great slippage, then we're going to see it this season. You can catch a team night in and night out and win. You know that. We all know that. Anybody can win on any given day. But we don't see the strength. We don't see the force, the dominance that we saw with the Bulls last season as the season began. Remember, the Bulls was like a plus 12.5 in points differential, leading the league by a landslide. Now, The Bulls struggle to win, even if they win a good team. There's still a struggle. It's like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Oh shit, the Bulls won, and we're shocked. We want the Bulls to play in a manner where we're not shocked and beat the teams that they're supposed to beat and fight hard as hell against the teams that they know they're going to have to overcome in the playoffs. We know who these teams are.
Right. Good point, Dax. Great, passionate point. We joined by the legendary Zen Master in the building from the Black Basketball Channel. What's the deal, Zen? Talk to the people. We live.
Well, Flight, I'm going to have to take a little off topic here just to set things straight about tonight. How about those Blazers, first of all? First and foremost, coming off of a 5-game losing skid, catching one in New York tonight. No disrespect to the Knicks, but we needed that win. Just thankful to have that. As far as the Bulls are concerned, Billy Donovan ass gots to go. The only team he seems to have dialed in is the Celtics. I can't explain that shit. I can't explain it. How you can beat the best team in the East reliably, it seems, but you can't beat nobody else.
Yeah, something wrong with that. They need somebody to organize these pieces because, like what I was just stating before with Dax, this not a perfect blend of characters. So I think you need to get somebody in here to sort out DeMar, who could step to DeMar, who could step to Zach. I mean, these dudes are just their egos is immense. So you need somebody to get it right. To get them to play in a different way. To a lesser degree, you see what's going on with Mike Brown in Sacramento. Somebody stepped to what's his name, Fox. Somebody got to get Fox situated, get him playing a different way, change the culture a little bit here. Yeah. They need to change these guys in the defensive mindset players and switch it up to where it's not your turn, my turn. You know what? We're going to go for third. We're going to just go for as many points as we can go for tonight and hope for the best. I mean, that mindset got to stop. And that's what I'm seeing a whole lot from the Chicago Bulls. And I'm so happy that we got a Bulls fan that just joined us. He goes by the name of Unstoppable, live from the rack, too. What's the deal?
Shout out to Unstoppable.
Born and raised in the rack. What's good, Unstoppable?
What's up? Shout out to you, Flight.
Man, what the hell is going on with these Bulls? Y'all got beat down. I mean, Shea Gilgeous, they laid the smackdown on their candy ass. What the hell is going on? Talk to me.
I wouldn't say the smackdown, but they got it done.
By the way, you played a top 10 player tonight. Shea Gilgeous is currently a top 10 player in the NBA.
Shay's been balling.
Already?
He's been balling.
Yep. Well, statistically, he's there.
Yeah, there you go. Say that.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it again. Coaching, bro. They got to get rid of Billy.
It's coming from a Bulls fan too.
Yeah, I don't get why they had Alex Caruso guarding Shea and not Patrick Williams, and they both was on the floor at the same time. I just couldn't understand it. I'm like, why they got him on? I think his name is Cuddy. Why they had him on him? Why they had Patrick on Cuddy and not Alex on him and had, Patrick Williams guarding Shea, because he was the one cooking. I see a lot of.
You mean Giddy?
You said what?
Giddy?
Yeah, Giddy. They have
Giddy could damn near put a triple double on y'all ass.
Right, but I'm saying though, but Shea was the one that was, that was.
Yeah.
So it's like I just switch it up just to see, I'm like, I don't get why he did that, but again, Billy do a lot of stuff I don't get, and when I see what's wrong with this team is with Zach and DeMar is your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, and then when I'm seeing with Vooch is like, bruh, you just settling for the threes. Why your ass is not getting in the paint?
7 foot.
Trying to bang, let's put these people in the post. But I also said too, you got to remember, Billy has never utilized his centers, bro. I mean, look, when he had Steven Adams, he did. Steven Adams is a pretty good center. He didn't use him when he was at OKC. So I said it before. I think they just need to try it out, which I doubt they will, because we talking about Billy. They need to move him to the bench and have Vooch come off that bench So he can get the
So he'd
offense
be the
ran.
focal point. That might be
Yeah,
what's best.
right. So he
Yeah, they
can
need
get
a coach to switch it up. Somebody to
right.
go to somebody, because if that's probably what it requires. That these three just should not be starting together. Obviously, Vooch is
Nah,
the
for
odd
sure.
man out, and he will probably flourish in that role.
I
But
think it helped the starting
he go
lineup
back to
either one.
Orlando. He gonna be playing against the second unit on these
Right,
other teams. He'll take y'all to the top. I'm telling you, that's a hell of
right.
an idea that you just said. I don't know why I never thought of that. Keep
Yeah,
going.
and it'd be balanced out with the defense. You know what I'm saying? I kind of actually I kind of rather see Drummond shoot the damn three. Shit, he gonna wind up probably breaking it like Boots been breaking. You know what I'm saying? But still, I think it will help not only Boots, but like I said, help this team out because he'll be the vocal point. You know what I'm saying? They'll be balancing offense and defense. In the starting lineup, it'd be balanced with offense and defense. But even if they did that, I don't think Billy's the right coach right now. I think he did his job or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they need to move on. And definitely have a coach that that can help this team and help develop even Patrick Williams, because shit, who really developed under Billy Donovan that we all can agree on? Like, yeah, that young player did develop under Billy. Nobody, bro.
I mean,
Nobody.
Io's the first one you can look at as developing. You can see Io developing, but you're right.
Yeah. So I think they need to just go ahead and cut their losses right now and get a coach in. I would kind of like to see Udoka because that's who they really was gonna sign. But when Billy came available, AK ran his ass over there and got Billy. Um, yeah. So yeah, they need to go ahead and cut their losses right now.
I
So
think the
let me
powers
see.
that be want Ime to sit out this year.
Yeah, they probably do.
I think that's the problem. And Chicago is likely to get him unless Eric Spoelstra decides to retire from Miami, which ain't likely. I could see that. Yeah, that would be the most likely place that he would end up at this point. But
And,
I'm looking at
go
in
ahead, bro.
terms of I'm just looking at in terms of like I said, I was kind of compiling who's the top guys in the league right now. And if you take their box plus minus and add their value over replacement player, pretty much the top guys all have the high box plus minus and VORPs with some variation in between. So I took the scores and combined them. Gilgeous Alexander has played 613 minutes, which is high for this season. And right now, according to me, he's the number 5th ranked player in the league. You want to know who's number 1? Steph Curry, who's not even on a winning team, has the highest combined box plus minus and value over replacement player at 34. It's Steph Curry. So Shea is statistically, he has arrived. The guy above him, Donovan Mitchell, at 4.
You think they're gonna keep him, or they gonna try to move off him and get some pieces for him?
You don't move him.
Talking about Shea.
No,
Yeah,
you don't move him.
Yeah, they're making it hard. I mean, the only way they're gonna do it is unless they're not even in the playoff picture, are they?
I don't know.
No,
I
they're-
don't
Yeah, I
think
mean,
so.
I think they still want to be out the playoff range as long as Shea's performance is not bringing them to the top of the West. I think he'll be safe.
Yeah, I don't think there's any threat of
Yeah,
that.
they don't want to. They want the picks. Trust me, they would love to get Wembanyama.
And they're already stacked up with picks from what we know. So that's a scary franchise by itself with Sam Presti and the stuff he does out there. They're scary all around.
Yes. Okay,
So
hold on.
so it's no surprise that even with this team that's young and inexperienced, they're coming on. Shea was only 8 for 21 tonight, but he had 30 points off of 21 shots. That ain't bad. Got to the stripe 15 times. Not bad at all. For the Bulls, Zach LaVine 9 for 23. That ain't good. 23 shots for 27 points. DeRozan 27 shots for 30 points. That really ain't good. Vucevic 13 points, 14 shots. That's decent, but Zach and DeMar got to be put in their place. Ain't no way DeMar should be 27 and 23 shots each.
And then if they want to shoot like that, I don't mind. I really don't mind because really they're some of the most efficient shooters in the league, and by that being so, that could make Chicago Bulls a more proficient type of team if they run the correct schemes. And the only way they're going to run the correct schemes is that Zach and DeMar have to be accountable
Okay,
on defense.
But the
we
pace of the
already had
game,
Dex that they taking some dumb shots, a whole
I
lot of dumb
understand that,
shots.
but we know the history. They are the two most difficult shot taking making duel in the NBA.
Yeah,
they're
but
So they
also
take
ISO
difficult
players
shots
and
and
they
they
slow
make
down.
difficult shots.
time though.
They're also ISO players and they kill your off. They slow your offense down.
Yeah, it's like
I know, but
it's,
if you counter that Zen with some tenacious defense,
Yeah.
that defense will tire them just a little bit. That they will take less shots because their legs ain't there unless they just such a unscrupulous type player. You follow what I'm saying? If they that unscrupulous that they will take shots when their legs are not there and cost the teams games or quarters and making it harder for the other team, then they shouldn't even be there because that's not what Chicago needs.
27 shots, man. That's a lot.
But if you play defense, see,
well,
Kobe
they went
played
to
defense.
overtime too. So
Jordan played
you
defense.
look at it like that.
Oh, it was an overtime game. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
But even if you look at if you take away the shots they attempted in the 5 minute span, because it couldn't have been that many. They might have took 3 apiece or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're not stopping their man. They're not getting in the way. They're not taking charges.
No.
I mean, they're not bumping nobody. They're not doing anything. They just
But
playing matador defense.
You know what's hurting them too? I seen that when they not getting a foul, they too busy crying instead of running and getting on defense. You know, Zach and DeMar. It's like, bro, you ain't get your ass on defense, like you saying, Dex. Don't worry about that. Keep it pushing. You know.
Basically said KD took 31 shots.
Shit. For what? I know Ben Simmons was 6 for 6 the last time I looked. Had like
I told
almost
you, Ben
20
Simmons,
points.
bro.
Yeah, man. They're going to have to put some respect back on his name in a minute.
I told him it was too damn early to be saying he ain't this, he not that.
You and me both.
Say that to the
You told Rave that. You told Rave that specifically. I know that for a fact.
I told Rave, I told Marquez, I told the chat. I'm like, everybody
I certainly said it.
Too quick.
I remember that
Yes.
conversation. You said it was too early.
I've been patient with Ben the whole time.
It's up there. Come on.
I got a whole video called Defending BS from last season.
So if we recognize this unstoppable Zen of the Bulls, what has not gotten through the thickness of Billy's skull to recognize it? Unless Billy just ain't who we think he is.
Yes.
Billy look gangster, but he might not be gangster.
I think he was a great college coach, but they don't always make the best pro coaches.
Right. It's just, like Ben said, he was a good college coach, but they just don't make he's not a good NBA coach. And they just need to take their L. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna move on from you. You know?
Too stiff, too corporate. Don't look like he has any personality. You never see him wound up on the sideline. No adjustments.
Never get mad. You know, don't show no emotion. You know what I'm saying? Not putting Zach and like Zach and DeMar in their place. Like, you know, what are y'all doing?
You want to
win the game or not?
You want a coach that feels like one of the boys, but you know he ain't. And Billy don't feel like one of the boys. He don't. When I look at Chauncey Billups with his guys, he looks like one of the guys. Billy don't look like that. Billy looks like a corporate executive. And that's how he kind of carries himself, too. And look at that picture. Everything about
that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that picture, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what you're talking about. Well, he don't look like that no more, man. He look like he could be stressed out a little bit. You know, grow his beard out there.
Yeah, he probably looking for property in another state.
Mm-hmm. When you ever see Steve Kerr look so uptight? Nah, Steve Kerr cool as hell.
But see, Kerr, listen, we all know that Kerr dynamic, right? He
Mm-hmm.
already had a team that was on the cusp of playoffs, and they just needed a player or two to get them over the hump. They got it. They got the coach. Boom. They basically cakewalked into a dynasty because they was groomed that way. Remember, they was groomed that way. So when a person like Kerr comes in, all Kerr have to do is remind them of their greater goal as a team. And those guys were disciplined and high IQ enough to go ahead and pursue it full fledged. You follow what I'm saying? I'm talking about with rocket boosters on there.
Yeah, but I'm not giving
So
Mark Jackson that much credit. You got two guys who are sons of NBA stars. One of them became the greatest shooter of all time. You can't plan that shit.
but Mark Jackson held it together when they wanted to break it up. That's where they give Mark a lot of credit at.
Well, maybe
Because he
so, but
believed.
Steph Curry became Steph Curry, and I don't think a coach had much to do with that.
Okay, well that's debatable. That's cool. We can move on from that. But
Yeah.
the point that I'm making is that Billy never groomed anything like that. Even when he inherited the Oklahoma City and he inherited two MVPs, two 75 all great players, two Hall of Famers, first
Mm-hmm.
ballot Hall of Famer. He inherited that. He didn't
Yeah.
groom that shit.
No,
Yeah, he didn't.
no.
And
But
now look
Presti
what
is
he's
always
inheriting in
feeding
Chicago.
OKC. Presti's a good GM. Can we say that about Chicago's GM?
I think they have a good GM. He drafted he got some good pieces he drafted, man. He drafted uh what's buddy name over there in 76 at the Bias. You know, he got some eye for some talent, you know.
Please don't mention Tobias.
No, not
Tobias
Tobias
Harris.
Harris. Thibault. I'm sorry, Thibault.
Oh, Matisse
Oh, that's
Thybulle?
even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's even
No,
worse,
no,
bro.
no, that's not. He's a good defensive player, bro. He's coming along, bro. He's
I
a
don't
Man,
know
good
about that,
man.
Unstoppable.
okay.
Him and Maxie
Uh,
was on the
I think
same par
Maxi.
at
I
one
think
point.
Maxi too. I was about to say he drafted. I think he get no. Did he get Maxi?
No, Max was drafted by Sixers.
No, I'm saying I know he was drafted by the Sixers, but I'm saying was he there? I'm trying to think when he got drafted. I
Wait,
don't
who
remember.
are you saying? Sam Presti?
No, he said Sam Presti was a good GM.
Right?
When you say that about what's his name? Shit. Mark Eversley, I think his name is. Yeah. I mean, he
Oh, okay.
drafted some decent talent, but they got to
Yeah.
develop, you know.
Hmm.
And two, they were top picks. You got to remember that too, though, man. Russell Westbrook, top pick. KD, top pick. I mean, Chicago only had one top pick. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. The Bulls suffer from.
They development
It's a
sucks
weird
ass,
because like
bro.
with
They development is trash.
small city market teams like Portland, we know we got to develop through the draft. Chicago, they can acquire free agents, so they don't pay as much attention to development as a small market team. But Chicago's not a destination team, so they don't get the best free agents either necessarily.
Yeah, because
But
of all the beat.
they can be a destination
Exactly.
city.
They just got to
Um,
change the culture, which they did. But not only that,
man,
check this out, Zen. Chicago really do draft pretty good. The problem with Chicago is they development they need to fix, and the fan base they just get impatient, just keep demanding trades. I mean, for one, look at Larry. He left, became a
yeah,
star.
yeah.
Um, who else? Damn, I had a whole lot of. I mean, it's a whole lot of players. Ron Artest, trade him off. Jamal Crawford, trade him off. Didn't wait. It's a whole list of players that they traded and wound up blowing up in their face. I mean, some people saying Wendell Carter Jr. traded him off. Look
That's
at that.
general management. That's back to my point about general
Yep.
management.
But even that though, I mean, we can't even use that because the Bulls have a really good core roster,
No,
but I just think this being mismanaged.
right. I mean, when even if you want to speak on it, I know why they traded. Well, they had to trade Wendell. They say Chicago lost the trade, but I think both teams really won that trade. Why? Because the Magic has nice young pieces to build for the future, and Chicago is trying to, change up the culture and getting a winning pedigree and make the playoffs and try to compete for championships. And they made the playoffs with they would have made the playoffs with him the first year he got traded, but that the whole thing was Zach had to sit out because of COVID protocol. They didn't, but the second year they
Yeah, because
made
they
it.
could have made the playing game.
Right. So both teams really won it. You know what I'm saying? Won that trade, if you ask me. You
But
know,
only thing I'm saying is this right here, Unstoppable. We keep pulling on the lion's tail, but not shugging enough where the lion will turn around. Let's get this lion to turn around and let's face this lion. Because a lot of us don't really want to face the lion because we're afraid of his mare.
That's what you got to do.
The lion that we need to face is how do you parse DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine? Do one of them have to go to the bench? Or do you stagger their minutes so deeply that it seems like they're not on the court at the same time, even though they started?
you might have to stagger their minutes, and also remember too, Declan. I kept saying too that they need to put DeMar on that bench, but I don't think they will because he's doing this thing right now, and they just need to try to do it the minutes. But I think they get a coach in here that was like, look, obviously y'all way not working. Like I said, you doing it my turn, your turn, my turn. You know what I'm saying? That's not working. You know what I'm saying? All the ISO, then dribbling the ball down, dribbling the clock down so much that you just throw up a bad shot or passing to throw up a bad shot because you done damn ISO so damn much. You know what I'm
That part
saying?
is coaching. That part's coaching.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that too, and it all goes down to it's all this stuff. We could suggest this all day, and it makes sense to everybody listening. We can say yes, that's true, but at the end of the day, it's gonna take a coach to do that, and he's not doing it.
He's not doing it. You're right. He's not doing it.
You
It
know,
doesn't look like he has the ear in the locker room.
And that's what's frustrating for C Red Nation. Listen, I feel it. Like I say, I don't want see Unstoppable. You are the fan. I'm a fringe fan, but I'm all in when Lonzo's all in. Right now, I'm just observing the atmosphere of what Lonzo going to have to enter when he comes back. And that's going to be a lot of burden to shoulder on a player who's a non-scorer, on a player who have some reticence of leadership. I'm talking about vocal leadership. So how did this, you know what I'm saying? How did this end? What's the end game here?
in game looking like another playoff exit or being in the play-in shoe. That's what I see. And they may look at it. I hope they don't because this is a new front office. They may look at it. Okay, that's good enough for us. Maybe we'll go further if we add pieces. Or I think maybe they looking at it too as like, okay, we gonna get him a pass because he don't have Zoe. So let's see when Zoe fully healthy in here how far we can go. But I say,
Wow,
man,
good point, William.
I say if you can't beat the Magics without Zoe, like you got a problem, fam. And if his rotations is terrible and adjusting is terrible and Zoe is gone, just think what it's gonna be when he get back.
Right. And you know what? I want to ask you this right here. This is a very good question by Eric B. Why they not playing Dalen Terry?
Probably because a rookie thing, or not enough minutes to go around. I thought they would have played Dalen Terry when Kobe went down, but they gave his minutes to I want to say maybe Derrick Jones Jr. stopped playing more. So yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah, the rookie thing and not enough minutes. But if it's the rookie thing and not enough minutes, I would think the smart thing would to do will send him down to the G League. and let them develop under there for the season. And let's see what we got with this team. And if we decide to make some moves and trade off some people, we'll trade off some people and bring them up, you know, or we'll just wait next season. And, Kobe White got a contract coming up. Vucevic got a contract coming up. We're going to cut some losses, then we'll bring them up. But I would think it just makes sense to let them develop in the G League because you're wasting time just having them sit there and you only bring them in when there's like a minute left in the fourth quarter. That don't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's what happens when log jam the guard position, and now you in a quagmire. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And this goes on the front office.
Yeah, I will say that it definitely does.
Players gonna do what they're expected to do as long as those expectations are made clear and as long as they respect the leadership. The second they don't, they start doing their own thing. And if that's what you're seeing, then it's the leadership.
There's no leader on this team too, like you said. There's no leader.
Mm-hmm.
No vocal leader on the court at all.
You got a guard verbalizing his displeasure with being benched in a locker room interview. Billy ain't got this locker room. That's what I see. He does not have this locker room.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
That should be the first move.
Because why? How you bench a $200 million player, but you won't bench fucking DeMar DeRozan? I don't understand that. Like, you that's who you like, Billy? That's where you going with? That's your guy, Billy?
And you know what, too?
That's your king?
Zach actually might feel some type of way about that, man. Now you say that. Now you
the
say
organization
that,
said, Zach, you the man. But Billy said, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like you benched me, and this dude has shot us. Very well shot us in and out of the game before. You benched me before this mofo. You know?
Old Duke done already made their way to the Field Night Invitational out here in Portland. I might go down there on Sunday to see whoever they're playing against. I think that's going to get determined tomorrow.
I watched Duke and Oregon State.
Was it a good game?
And Duke, it was a good game, but Duke doesn't look like dominant. You know, it doesn't look like a dominant Duke. So I don't know.
Yeah.
NC's here also. I think they played today. Yeah, they played Iowa State today. So all that shit was on TV. No games tomorrow. That's weird. The tournament runs through Sunday, but they don't have any Saturday games. I wouldn't mind going tomorrow. I don't know how I'm feeling on Sunday.
Yeah, Eric B. I didn't see the game, but maybe Unstoppable can contest to that. He said that Billy should have benched DeMar today.
Why? Because he went 10 for 27?
Chucking.
He said in the third quarter of today's game.
Chucking.
Well, shit. Yeah, I mean, but, I don't know, bro.
What you gonna do, though? I mean, who you gonna put in for him?
It doesn't matter. You're sending a message. Because it's about the collective. And I don't think, remember I said last season, Billy is afraid of that. See, that's the uncomfortable conversation that Billy's afraid of. Pulling the strings to get control. So he's trying to masquerade behind Zach, Vooch, Zoe, and DeMar, where he don't have to pull the strings and these guys figure it out.
Well, peep this out. This is what I would have did. You say who you gonna put in. This is another lineup I thought about. Like I said, you can try, but it's gonna take benching him, which he's been playing too damn good, which I think they won't. You of course keep Zach at that too. You will move Patrick Williams to that small forward position, and you will bring in Green, that's been playing power forward for that high energy. You can try that, but they not gonna do that. So.
Did we take a quick detour?
What, you gonna say put Vooch at the power forward?
No, whole different detour. I wanted to big up Dex's Los Angeles Lakers on their victory tonight Old man James returned. He was 8 for 17, had 21 points. Anthony Davis had 25 and 15. So the Lakers
balling, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was San Antonio,
But
so we're
now-
not gonna get too excited.
But now, you know,
yeah.
I told
But,
you they need to go 5-1. Remember that in this 6-game span, because we knew that they wasn't going to beat the Suns. We already chalked that up. So right now the Lakers are 4-1 on the 6-game span. They got one more game to win to get to that 5-1 mark, and they will be like one game under 500 or something like that. 2 games.
Yeah. Anthony Davis's offense is suffering for
Yeah, I was
LeBron's
about to
presence.
say AD just helps y'all out. I just got the notification.
Yeah, but he's definitely feeling LeBron's presence after that layoff. He's not getting the touches that he was before. LeBron took 17 shots tonight. AD only took 13.
Can the Lakers turn it around?
Nope.
Of course.
would they trade Anthony Davis?
Is that said no?
Would they trade AD? They've been talking about they should trade him, move off of him. Are they, did they do that to bring up his trade value? Because they think
But
about
remember, I
doing
keep
that?
trying to
What's the
tell
thing?
you guys, AD is not going anywhere. They mark him as the future.
You can't force those numbers. And if he's healthy, he's not the one that needs to go anywhere.
So you saying LeBron need to go?
I'm not saying that either.
Oh.
Get Russell off the books and then go from there. But as long as Russell is on the books, he's not going to be
Let's say
beneficial.
this. Let's say they move on from Russell Westbrook and he's not on this team. Do you see this team winning one more championship with the roster they have?
If they can pull one more superstar into that mix, yeah.
Oh man, that ain't happening, bro. You said a superstar?
Let me give you a
Nah.
snenario. Let me
I
give
mean,
you a
I'm gonna say
scenario.
this. You know
One
the
scenario,
fix is
real quick.
in. You know
Let
the
me
fix
give you
is
let
in.
me
Go
give
ahead.
you one scenario real quick for next year.
The fix is
Okay.
definitely in.
Kawhi Leonard retires and Paul George becomes a Laker. Then what?
No, the fix is in then, bro. Wait. Hold on. Let me back up and make sure I understand you right. You said Kawhi Leonard retire, right?
Yeah,
And Paul George becomes a superstar?
a Laker.
Becomes a Laker? How that? He at the end of his contract?
I'm just throwing this red meat out there. Don't think about the numbers. Don't think about the terms. Just what if something like that were to happen?
They would. But I mean, I'm just talking about free agency wise. If he comes there, yeah. But you talking about, like I said, you talking about trading? If we going to do that, like the fix is in, bro.
Once you get Russell off the books and you got that money, you can start working a lot of angles to get who you want on your squad. It could end up in a trade, a 3-way trade or some shit like
If it's
that.
a trade, bro, the fix is in, fam. Ain't no way. Who the hell they gonna give up to get him?
Once you give up Russell's salary, you're free to do what you want to do. That's
But
$47 million on the books.
I know, but you said, man, I don't know, bro.
So you go acquire somebody that you intend to trade, a 3-way trade.
I don't know, bro.
The Lakers, who do you want? Okay, we'll go spend this money to get them with the prearrangement that you're going to trade X, Y, and Z for this.
I don't know. Buddy also said he didn't want to play. That's true. Want to play with LBJ. I want to know what changed your mind, buddy. Like the fix is in, man. The fix is in.
Kawhi is reaching his end, and this
Now
may be
you
the
the man.
last season.
You the man of
For the Clippers.
the Clippers. Yeah. So let's get
True.
it done.
That's
I
one
think
way to look at it.
Clippers may be able to pay him the most money. I mean, if he's looking at the win and not the money no more, then he very well may go ahead and bite the bullet. But again, bro, are you willing to take a back seat? Because LeBron James ain't gonna take no back seat. We know this.
That's going to be the Lakers' issue until he does.
But it's LeBron James. He's not. We know. Long as you play on the same team LeBron James' team is on, bro, you gonna change. You gonna have to change your game.
That's why I
Especially
say
if
they're
you
not
that third
going anywhere
person
this
coming
year.
in. Especially if you that third person coming in. LeBron James, to very well even the last in the league, even longer than he's been, it'll help his game out if he just take a back seat. If I'm LeBron James, I'm looking and seeing what AD doing, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just take this back seat and let Russell Westbrook and AD do their thing. Yeah, it's gonna take me longer to get to break this damn record, but I'm looking at my health, you know what I'm saying, and looking at winning. You know what I'm
AD for
saying?
Zach LaVine.
AD
for Zach LaVine. Is that a trade that you could see happening? Because it's one that's been
Yes and no.
speculated on. Yes and no?
Yeah, by his health. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, his availability. It's like,
Mm.
okay, we move on, but I
They kind
might
of
try to
both
get.
have they both have injury issues now, so you're getting the injury issue for an injury issue.
I don't think Zach be injured like damn Anthony Davis, man. You fuck around and shake his hand, he gonna be out. You know what I'm saying?
That
You know,
nigga fragile.
right, for real, fragile as hell. If anything, the way DeMar's been playing, I might try to flip DeMar for AD if they willing to be stupid enough to take that deal and maybe send them Kobe White and Kobe White and DeMar. You know what I'm saying?
Demar and LeBron. Demar would definitely have to play two.
A power forward. He just slide him to the power forward. He played power forward with the Celtics. I mean,
That's
with the
AD. Of
with,
course, if AD's not
with
there
right AD. Yeah, he just moved him to the power forward. He played that with the Spurs, so that
at
could work.
advanced age, I don't think so. I don't think you want to do that with his age at this point. Maybe when he's younger, but the bigger power forwards, the ones that'll swing him in and out, I don't think you want that. The ones that can stretch the floor will have him out on the perimeter, and then they'll have him in the paint. Perimeter, paint. Perimeter, paint. Won't be a good look. I would say no to that. But I think Levine as a guard makes more sense because they need a guard. They need a shooter bad.
And then I guess what you can do is that mean you move Patrick Williams to the small forward and you just maybe get that starting lineup to Dalen Terry, let him develop, and hopefully he become develop to a hell of a player.
So now you got Zoe, AD, and DeMar. I think that's a good look. I do. I think that's a good look. Because AD will balance out DeMar.
I might try to get a pick from y'all for us to do that.
You know what Chicago's gonna say?
Pick, bro.
Chicago's said, man, your guys hurt, man, all the time.
I would. That's what I say. Like, this motherfucker, like I said, we could, man. You know what I'm saying? Shake his hand. Oh man, something going on my hand. You know, gone for.
But the LA could be like, well, what about Zach's knee? What about his knee though?
And Zach LaVine, he'll be good. Whatever you seen, this is your first time you really seen Zach LaVine been out a lot. That's what they say regarding that knee management. It could be they just wanted to be cautious. You know what I'm saying?
Could be.
You know,
could be.
So if you ask me, if I'm versus Zach Health versus Anthony Davis, like, come on, man, we already know Anthony Davis ass be gone a lot, bro. Like the nearest bump. If it's somebody being physical with Anthony Davis, he get to grabbing his doggone back or whatever, you worried. You know, with Zach, it's like, he'll be good. It's this mofo. It's like, damn, like, bro, you got hurt off that?
Yeah. I'm hopeful for Anthony Davis because I never want to see anybody's career fucked up by injury under any circumstances. And he's too brilliant of a basketball player to suffer that fate.
He's a hell of a player when healthy, bro. Like I say all the time, I love to have him and hate to have him at the same damn time. Because you know what you're going to get when healthy. But it's just like, man, like you scared about him getting hurt.
Yeah, we haven't had that experience too much here in Portland other than the Brandon Roy experience. That was a while ago now. But, we went through Greg Oden. That was a calamity. But for the most part, we've had a lot of luck with guys in terms of long term. And Damian Lillard's that's why I'm not complaining too hard. He's been a workhorse. He's been an absolute workhorse. But,
is Zen God?
Say again?
I said, is this Zen God?
This is
what
Zen.
Did you say?
Is this Zen God?
Oh, yeah, that's Zen.
Zen Master.
Okay. Yeah. What up, bro? Yeah, what's going on, man?
Who's this, man?
Hey, it's Phonics. I was listening to your live stream earlier with the Knicks.
Oh, hey, Phonics, what's going on, bro?
Chilling.
Yeah, I'm going by Zen for these diamonds tonight.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Did you watch that game, Phonics, or did you watch anything earlier?
Yeah. I was watching. Yeah, man, you beat my Knicks.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately. two subpar teams. I think y'all will finish well below playoff standards. Yeah, you're not a good team. I don't care if Dame Lillard comes back or not. And yo, I want to ask you this question, though, Zen. I want to ask you a question, Zen. How do you feel about this? Dame always takes the bag, but he knows he's not playing with a competitive team, and he knows you'll never win. Do you compare him to Bradley Beal? I'll wait.
I think you make presumptions. That's what I think. I think you posit things, but they may not necessarily be true. And now you want me to respond to your prepositions, your presuppositions, and I'm not going to. You're trying to gaslight me, number one. Coming up here talking about my team, and then you propose some preposterous shit. Now, Damian Lillard is leading this team and this organization in a better direction.
Where is that, sir?
And let me tell you something else about Damian Lillard. We have two young guards who are going to carry this team for the next 10 years. Thanks to Damian Lillard's leadership.
He said 10 years. He said 10 years.
Easily.
Okay.
Two young ones. No, but hold on. I'm not done.
Okay.
Let me tell you more about Damian Lillard.
Yes, sir. Go ahead,
who
man.
he is.
Go ahead. Get off, son.
First of all, the man is from Brookfield, Oakland, the hood of the hood. First and foremost.
Yeah.
Now, that is an hour and 10-minute flight from here. You will know how I know? Because I take it all the fucking time. If he can't be in San Francisco, guess where he wants to be? Here. Number 3. This nigga moved his entire fucking family here. His entire family is here. His wife's family is from here. He don't want to leave. He's home.
What does that have to do with winning? You're not
and he's the
winning.
Man. Not
but you're
everybody.
Not winning.
Because the players like Damian Lillard, as opposed to players like LeBron James, it means more to raise an organization to a championship level than to jump from station to station.
He's not raising anybody.
I'm not finished. Damian Lillard is not looking for a prefabricated championship. He's looking to lead an organization and put his name on the city forever. He doesn't want to be Gary Payton and Karl Malone riding along in L.A. looking sad. He doesn't want to be number 3. He wants to be number 1.
Right now.
No, I'm not. Aggressive. No, I'm not. I'm telling you what Damian Lillard. I'm telling you what the man is. You wanted to know why? I'm telling you what he is. No.
That's what he does. He robs banks without a gun.
No. He made the playoffs for 9 years straight. Can you say that about your team?
What does that have to do with anything?
Can you say that about anybody who's played for your team in the last 20 years?
Let's say this about Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard will finish his career with the Portland Trail Blazers. He will have no championships.
That's your opinion.
MVPs,
That's your opinion.
But he will finish with almost pocketing almost close to $1 billion.
That's your opinion.
The bank with no gun.
He's not robbing the bank. You're not robbing the bank when you lead the team to the playoffs for 9 years straight.
Your
team can't get to the playoffs. When was the last time the Knicks were in the playoffs? Let's talk about your sorry ass franchise.
Hey, Zen, I like to hear your voice.
This is we getting into some WWE. We getting some WWE now. Let's talk about your sorry ass franchise. Those candy asses in New York, with your fucked up 6'1" Jalen Brunson. Piece of shit who ain't worth the money. He ain't worth the money. You passed on Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's lighting the league up, and you hate it.
I'm not in my feelings. No,
you know you passed on Donovan Mitchell, and you hate it. I'm lighting your ass up. Get on this frying pan.
No, sir, because...
Let's talk about your sorry-ass Knicks, who fucked up Julius Randle's All-Star year.
Sir, you have a man that will pocket it almost $1 billion, and you have nothing to show for it.
Yes, we do.
I mean, are you serious right now?
Yes, we do.
I mean, look at C.J. McCollum's career now since he left there. These people, his team that he's with, the Pelicans, they can end up in the finals. We know Portland isn't.
We beat them.
First round.
We beat them without Damian Lillard.
Oh, hold on. We talking about the head.
We beat them.
We talking about the head-up season. We talking about head-to-head season.
Yes, we beat them.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about.
We beat them handily less than 2 weeks ago without 3 of our starters, and they had everybody.
You won't be in the playoffs. If you do
Oh,
get that first round, you're
please.
gone. You know
this
that.
from a Knicks fan? Like, you know fucking basketball. You're a Knicks fan.
You don't have to curse, Zen. You have a character.
Fuck out of here, Knicks fan.
Zen, you're up there. You had a character.
You can't even make it to the playoffs. We went for 9 years
man.
straight, and you're talking shit? Who the fuck you got?
Zen, you're not a college basketball
RJ
team.
Barrett?
You're a professional basketball team. And you have
RJ Barrett?
Hold on, you have a $250 million player. For you to keep saying that you made it to the playoffs, like that's a success.
That man's earned his money. He's been here for 10 years. You bagging his money for him? You pocket watching him? You pocket watching Damian Lillard? Is that what you doing?
You're not getting anywhere.
Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you begrudge that man his money? Ain't nobody mad at LeBron stealing for 20 years. LeBron been stealing for 20 years. You mad at him?
LeBron has how many rings?
LeBron's a thief. Lebron had to get prefabricated championships and a bubble ring. He's a chronic underachiever. Stop it! In the immortal words of Chris Broussard, stop it! Damian Lillard is an overachiever. LeBron is an underachiever.
He got demoted. He went from ESPN to Fox.
Stop it! No, I'm just having fun with you, though. Good argument. But you don't know shit. You a Knicks fan, man. Get out of here with talking shit.
I know you upset. I
know you didn't win tonight, and that's why you talking shit. I know that much. I know you got beat. I know you got beat tonight. I know you got beat tonight without Damian Lillard, without Gary Payton II. I know that.
I mean, you're saying that, but again, this dude will make $250 million in his career. And
no Drew Eubanks. No Drew Eubanks.
You'll never get behind.
And we still beat your ass.
Hold on, Zen.
We still beat you.
I mean, but if you're playing...
Just like we beat the Pelicans when we didn't have starters.
Okay, but if you're paying a player $250 million and you won't even sniff a finals, how are you okay with that? Tell
me how much a player is supposed to make in their career. You know what they're going to do? If they're offered a max or a super max, they're going to take it. If they're not unhappy... The man's happy here. Why do you begrudge him his happiness? Not everybody wants to go from pillar to post, chasing a cheap championship like LeBron James.
Hold on, Zen.
Not everybody throws up their hand and says, I'm going to go team up and play NBA AU like LeBron.
Zen, I agree with you. And the team did it because he could put butts in the seats. That's why they did it. Not because
was Charles Barkley stealing money?
No, hold on.
Did Allen Iverson steal money?
Hold on. I need to focus on what I'm focusing on. They put him. They gave
extra lemon pepper too.
They gave him that money. Hey, let me finish this real quick, Dad. They gave him that money because they know he could put butts in the seat, not win games. That's shameful and it's disrespectful.
What are you talking about? Dame? No, we used to Dame. It's not a big deal for us to have Dame. It's not at all. We're used to Dame. We want to win, and we believe he can win. And everybody, and right now, you're only talking shit now because you think our record took a dip. Okay, our record took a dip. You wasn't saying shit a week ago. Was you?
Nobody's talking about your team.
Was you?
What do you mean a week ago?
Now you pumping your chest out after your team took a fucking L. You ought to be ashamed of yourself right now. We just beat you with nobody on the floor.
Hey, Dex, go ahead and talk.
You just took an L to Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant, and you're New York fucking City. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed to come up here talking shit after you lost. Beat it.
I won, Zen.
Beat it. You lost. And you got cooked after you lost. Beat it. Phonics, get the fuck out of here talking that shit. No, he ain't stealing. The man took his team to the playoffs for 9 fucking years. Your team can't even get to the playoffs. Are the entire Knicks roster, are they all stealing? Because they can't make it to the fucking playoffs. Are they all stealing?
You roll out your character,
huh? No. You wanted to turn up. You got it. Who else is stealing money? Who else is stealing money? Huh? You want to talk about it? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. High character guy does nothing but ball his ass off.
And wins you an
Olympic gold medal.
In the West Coast.
Hey, bro.
The Western Conference y'all relevant.
Should Sacramento not pay anybody to play? They ain't been to the playoffs in 16 years.
Sacramento. We don't have a
Should
dude that's
should
doing
nobody
commercials.
should nobody get
Hey,
paid
Thunder, you wrong
paid who
for
didn't
that,
win a
though. You wrong for
championship?
that, Thunder.
You know how stupid you sound.
He's doing all these commercials.
This man ain't doing nothing but doing his damn job and getting paid market value, and you pocket watching him. That's so fucking stupid.
You can hear a pin drop in the background.
He's Bradley Beal. He's Bradley Beal.
He's
I'm
not
gonna
no
get the bag,
fucking
and I know
Bradley
I'm not
Beal.
gonna win. I could be the man here, but I ain't gonna win nothing. There's no rebuilding.
You ain't gonna be the man playing NBAAU. Everybody's gonna see. Everybody's gonna see you team up the same way they saw Kevin Durant and LeBron James team up, and they're not gonna respect it. That's what you're missing.
Champions in the same breath as Dame. He's not a champion. Stop being disrespectful and disingenuous.
Oh, now you on some other. Now you on some other shit. Now you on some other shit. Yeah, so again, was Charles Barkley stealing money? He knew he wasn't gonna win shit. Was was Allen Iverson stealing money?
You talking about Hall of Famers? Dame is not any of that.
Dame is an NBA 75er. We're done here.
That's fine. He could be all that, but
he is a Hall of Famer. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Stop
Anybody's
the cap.
in the Hall of Fame in the NBA.
He is the second best shooter of this era. Stop the cap. You act like he's afraid.
Anybody in the NBA
He don't run from the grind like your boys do. Running from the grind ass, teaming up ass, NBAAU ass motherfuckers of the day.
He said, I'll take that check. I'll stay in Portland, even though it's a rainy-ass city. It's a small market. We're only on TV maybe about 4 times a year. But guess what? I'm going to take the bag because I know we ain't going nowhere.
Guess what?
But I'll take the bag.
Like I told you, the man is an hour. The man is an hour and 10 minutes away from his city. He's got his whole family here. This is where he started his career. He wants to finish it here. What the fuck is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, but
what's wrong with it?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but he's gonna finish it without a ring.
Well, none of y'all can say that for sure, but if he does, so the fuck what?
And let me just, your old jokes aside,
a whole bunch of players will finish their careers without rings.
He's still gonna be
all right, as long as you're gonna admit that, and as long as you understand that, but you don't shit on my Knicks, bro.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's definitely gonna win one.
Get jumped by a bunch of Knicks fans.
I'm not gonna sit here and say he's definitely gonna win one, and y'all gonna sit here and say he's definitely not, like you know the fucking future.
Man,
like
he's not.
Whatever.
Look at the team that he had.
Look at the team. Yeah, I am. I know my team. I know who he has. You don't. You don't.
Zay has a platform he's trying to protect because it's based off of the Trailblazers, but you know they suck. Nobody's looking for that.
They do not suck.
Like 3 times
they beat your sucky ass team tonight. On that, they beat your sucky ass team. Matter of fact, your sucky ass team is New York City and can't get on national TV. That's how fucking pathetic they are. New York City can't get on national TV.
It's all good.
So what fucking difference would it make if he jumped to New York?
The bag's still coming in.
The bag's still coming in.
The bag's still coming in. The bag's still coming in. Regardless.
What's he gonna do? Go jump on KD's dick?
Zen, stop it. You sound.
What's he gonna do? Go jump on LeBron's dick?
You have a pathetic team that can't compete at the playoff level.
I have an NBA franchise just like everybody else does. Period.
All I'm saying,
and I'm happy to have them.
If you beat up on the Knicks, I might have to beat up on Portland. All right, because Portland.
I didn't start this.
I started this.
I didn't start this.
I know he started it, but you gotta leave the Knicks alone, man.
Well, you got your ass beat tonight. That's all I'll say.
You don't gotta leave the Knicks alone. No, we talking about a season game. Let's play long ball. Long ball is your team. Portland does not make it into the playoffs.
When was the last time that you were in the playoffs? When was the last time you were in the playoffs? When was the last time you were in the playoffs? When was the last time you were in the playoffs?
You have a franchise.
When was the last time you were in the fucking playoffs? Can you answer that question, please?
No more. He's not. When the last time you won a championship?
77. When was the last time you won it? 73. All right, so we won one more recently than you have. You got no argument. Shut the fuck up.
You weren't alive. I wasn't alive.
Yes, I was alive.
Well, then you need to get off this podcast because you've been rooting for a team too long and you too dead old to be rooting for a losing franchise.
Well, first of all, I ain't a lifelong Blazers fan. I've been a Blazers fan for like 13 years since I moved here, so I'm not a lifelong Blazers fan. First of all,
you're one of those dudes.
I didn't grow up with an NBA team. This is my town now. I adopted my town. I didn't grow up with a loser ass team like yours. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm used to winning. I'm from Pittsburgh. How about that?
That's right. You are from Pittsburgh. So how
Right.
you
I'm used to winning. I'm used to winning.
You got Philadelphia
This is why I'm so hardcore about my team, because of where the fuck I'm from.
Wow,
We know how this shit go. We know how to encourage a team. We know how to be fans where I'm from. Unlike spoiled ass New Yorkers who expect to win because they spent the most money.
Pittsburgh is a dump.
Nah, we ain't shitting on
Man,
Pittsburgh.
shout out Pittsburgh. I know a lot of niggas get
We ain't
money
shitting
in
on
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
Shout out Pittsburgh.
But all I'm trying to say,
With the Yankees buying championships.
don't. Hey. You doing a lot right now, bro. You better leave New York alone, man.
Y'all came for me.
You better leave New York alone, man.
Better leave my city alone.
Folks
I'm just keeping it up.
to come with this
And guess who gets less rain every year? We get less rain than New York City does every year. How about that? Look it up.
He just matching that energy. That's all.
Look it up. We get less rain every year than you do. Look it up.
Portland is known for the rain. Bro.
Look it. No, that's Seattle. You got your facts twisted. Look it up.
Portland is known for the rain.
Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. We get less rain every year than New York City does. Keep talking shit about my city you don't understand.
If that is the case, what point are you making? Even if that's the case,
Stop talking shit about my city.
What he was making was the Knicks.
What you mad about?
I'm mad because we beat y'all ass and y'all got the fucking audacity to come up here and talk shit.
No, bro, we coming at you and letting you know at the end of the day,
you
winning
You're lost.
He's now. It ain't about the loss.
You're lost.
Hey man, don't water down your mic.
If I get off here for a second, y'all not destroying this dude. Why you letting this dude get away?
Don't water down your mic.
You're lost. At the end of the night, when we go to bed, fellas, guess what? When we go to bed, fellas, one of us won tonight and the rest of us lost.
Well,
that's how we go to bed tonight. That's how this ends. I'm gonna tell you can say whatever you want, but that's how this ends tonight.
At the end of the day, bro, all the man is telling you is that Damian ain't winning a ring out there. That's all he's telling you, bro.
And
I'm telling you, he don't know the future.
You sitting there hanging on to him.
No, you don't.
At the end of the day, that shows. No, let me show you something. Based on what you're saying, that shows that you're a fan of the team and not the player.
I'm a fan of my team.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it doesn't have shit to do with Damian. I believe in Damian, but I believe in what is around him right now more than I've ever believed in a team.
I'm glad you said that. So then why you riding so hard for him then?
I'm telling you that he's finally got what he needs around him. It just needs to gel.
No, he's capping.
So him staying is not even helping your team, technically.
Ask him a better question.
What are you talking about?
Him staying is not even helping your team technically because he's not going to win a ring there.
How can you keep saying that something you don't know?
They cannot build the team.
Something you don't know. Like I'll give you a for example. For example, I keep talking shit about the Lakers. I keep saying the Lakers ain't gonna even make the playoffs. I don't know that.
Hold on. Listen to me though, bro. He's in the West.
And the West is wide open.
The West is the wild, wild West.
It's wide open. Who's dominating the West right now? Who's dominating the West?
He said it's wide open.
Who's dominating the West? Who's dominating? No, wait.
No, hold on. It's not a factor who's dominating.
To your own argument. You know that, right?
Who's dominating the West right now?
You're super contradicting to your own
argument. My team does not suck. We got 11 wins on this season. How many wins do you have?
The hell you mean?
8. Comparing.
You got 8. You got 8 wins.
Dominating.
So your team sucks. Your team sucks. Jalen Brunson ain't gonna win a ring in New York.
You're using
RJ Barrett ain't gonna win a ring in New York. They ought to know that. Why are they paying those guys that money? They're robbing the Knicks. They know they ain't gonna win shit there. The Knicks ain't won since '73. So why is RJ Barrett sitting there robbing New York like that?
Bro, listen. You can spit all the facts you want about the Knicks. It still doesn't help your argument.
It does because you got a basketball team just like I got a basketball team. And guess what? Nobody thought the Golden State Warriors were going to turn into the Golden State Warriors. Nobody thought that was going to happen. The Golden State Warriors were ass cheeks for decades.
You're being arrogant, bro. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. But the argument is not about the team. It's about the player. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It is about the team. It's about the do you know what it takes to win a championship?
And then the player. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Do you know what it takes to win a championship?
Listen to me, bro. That man could actually go somewhere else.
Now hold on, man. Let him finish though. Now hold on, man. Let's talk, man. Go ahead, man.
What it takes to win a championship is an organization, first and foremost. Now, we just had organizational turnover like we haven't had in quite a long time, in case you don't know. That just happened.
What's your point for the argument that he's making? That's what
the point is. The championship starts in the fucking front office, and then it works its way down. It doesn't start with the player and work its way up.
Bro, listen to what I'm trying to tell you, though, bro. At the end of the day, by the time that team comes together in a position like that,
you still got Nolan.
You gotta let me talk.
My bad.
Because you can sit there and argue the Knicks all you want.
My bad.
I'll argue the Knicks with you, but that's still not an argument. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. The argument is not the Knicks. The argument is the player, Damian Lillard. The man is just trying to tell you at the end of the day, he could go somewhere else and do better for himself.
I mean, that has nothing to do with your team. That depends on how you look at better. Again, hold on before you do. Again, I don't look at it this way, and Damian Lillard doesn't look at it this way. For him to go be him to go be somebody's number 2 or number 3, he does not want that.
But what I'm trying to say to you,
do you understand that?
Listen to me though. Listen to what you just said, and I'm gonna help make sense of the situation. Listen to what you just said. But you're not a fan of the player. You're a fan of the team.
I'm a fan of both.
Why is that your argument?
I'm a fan of both of them. That's a silly presupposition.
I know you're saying that you didn't.
I can't be a fan of both. I'm a fan of both.
Bro, listen to me. Bro.
He's on the team, so that makes me a fan of him. Oh, come on, man.
You're making it up as you go,
please, I got to sit here and defend Damian Lillard. Now you're going to tell me I'm not a fan of his. What kind of silly what are y'all smoking tonight?
Say back to what you just said. I know the whole entire cast just heard you, bro. You literally just said it just now.
I got a poster of Damian Lillard on my wall. Do you need to see it? Matter of fact, I got 2 posters. I got 2 posters of Damian Lillard on my wall. Do you need to see him?
Hold on.
Do you need to see him?
What does that have to do with anything, bro? That's what
I am a fan of Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. They're not mutually exclusive.
Bro, but you just simply said just now that you're a fan of the team. That's what
I'm a fan of both of them.
We got people listening. Stop asking the same questions over and over.
Why didn't you say that in the first case? Because that's what I told you. Why are you arguing with the Knicks? The Knicks have nothing to do with your argument. The man is just
that was just to flip your argument on you. That's all that was. And I illustrated exactly how silly your argument was, which was that Damian Lillard. The argument was that Damian Lillard was stealing money. Not about him winning championships. That he was he's not stealing money.
So why every time I see the game on the Fire Stick, because I can't never catch it locally or whatever, why is he always in street clothes?
Dame is 32 years old. He's getting soft tissue injuries now.
Oh, shit. You're making my point even more. You're making my point even more.
What?
You're making my point even more. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I'm not making your point. This is the career arc for anybody who plays in the NBA. You're going to start getting soft tissue injuries at a certain age.
But listen, though. This is what I'm trying to say. Why would you hang on to that man and keep paying that man? If you're a fan of the team, you so-called claim you're a fan of if you're really a fan of the team, you wouldn't even be making that argument.
Because we don't expect him to fall apart overnight.
You're holding on to a player that's not going to do anything.
So now you're saying we should let him go because he's going to fall apart overnight. Do you see how you're shifting your argument?
Don't speak for me.
You just shifted your argument. Yes, you did.
Yo, New York, hold on. That's not true. No, New York, that's not true. It's not the fact that they're holding on to him. He agreed to re-up. He took that money. You know what I'm saying? He took that money because he went for the bag, just like Bradley Beal did in D.C. They know they're not going to win anything. But why not have generational wealth? And Zen Master won't admit that.
No, because we're not D.C. We're not D.C. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. No, we're not. No, we're not. And that's where we fundamentally disagree. We are not DC.
All he's trying to tell, all I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going to speak for that.
You suck. You ain't won since 73.
All I'm trying to
So how you going to say we suck?
Goodness, man. Let's be grown, man. All I'm trying to tell you is that at the end of the day, Damian is more hurting your team more than he's helping your team, bro.
I don't believe that.
I agree with that.
For example, like the Russell Westbrook, just like how you could get rid, because I could have sworn it was you. I heard saying like once you get them off the books, X, Y, and Z, this and the third, you could do this, that. It's the same situation.
They can't do that for Dame, though.
No,
you're trying to tell me he's Russell Westbrook. Y'all keep shifting the goalposts, man. The guy had look. Here's the mountain you're making out of it. Here, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it.
Zen, hold on, Zen. We gotta be grown, bro. When a person speaks, bro, you can't tell them what you think they're trying to say. You gotta listen to what they're actually saying.
Yeah, but let Zen make his point though, because we talk for too long.
No, Zen can make his point. I'm not trying to say he can't make it. Yo, bro, hold on. You hold on.
Go ahead. No. I don't
make a point.
Please go ahead. I'll wait.
So nobody's not gonna overlap me. I'm trying to make a point, bro. So let my point run through. I keep getting cut off.
Okay, nigga.
My bad. Go ahead.
Number one, you don't gotta call me nigga, bro. Have some respect.
Well, hurry up, brother.
My bad.
Hurry up.
Please.
All right. At the end of the day, some respect for the cast. That's number one. And you on the podcast, bro. No, bro. Like that. No, it don't work that way.
Hey, y'all. Let's return to love. Let's return to love.
Have some respect. That's number one. That's what we're gonna have. No, it's not land the plane, bro.
Let's return to love. Let's return to love. We having a good time. Let's keep it that way.
That's all good. It's just at the end of the day, he ain't gonna stay overlap me.
Versus Phonics. It's me versus Zen. So we gonna get you up out of here unless you land the plane, man.
You ain't getting me up out of nowhere, bro, because I hit the button and I was allowed in. So you're gonna respect me just like anybody else.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Phonics, at the end of the day, bro, we could get into it.
All right, so what I was gonna say,
we can get into it because I'll turn this into talent versus you, bro. At the end of the day, because I came up here riding with you. You understand? But I take it however you want to give it, bro. At the end of the day, man, I ain't one of those. Man.
See, this is why New York hip hop can't win no more because y'all can't stick together.
Nah, we ain't worried about New York and hip hop. Hip hop dead. Jay-Z been said it, nigga.
Nah, I said it wrong.
Excuse me.
Nah, I said it.
I'm from the Bronx, so I don't know where he's from though.
I could tell you. If you can't tell, if you're from New York, you're supposed to be able to tell, bro. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, let's leave it on the side. You know what I'm saying? We all having a discussion. Let's have the discussion. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Give everybody an opportunity to speak, and nobody don't cut nobody off. Respect is my number one thing. All I'm trying to explain to Zen is at the end of the day, I'm not comparing. I'm not saying Damian is Westbrook. What I'm trying to tell you is based on the situation, on the money. You understand? The same way if they get Russell Westbrook off the books, you understand? It's the same way they could get Damian off the books. You understand? And they could do more for your team. Is all I'm trying to say. Continue, brother.
That is if you are, and this is where I was saying you was making a mountain out of a molehill. He had one major injury that took him out for 3/4 of a season. Now he has 2 calf strains, 1 to 2 week injuries apiece, right? This is a phase in your career. I don't know how old you guys are, but as you grow older in life, you have to treat your body differently. You have to adjust to conditions.
I'm over 40.
Right.
I'm over 40.
So Damian Lillard is now going to have to fix his regimen and everything else to get more preventive. Right, and he's gonna have to change. But I know Damian Lillard's personality. Well, maybe not, but I know Damian Lillard's personality, and he's the type that the guy boxes in the off season. That's his hobby. He boxes and raps.
And now all of a sudden he boxes in the ground. He's
no. He really trains in the off season.
But he's really a trash rapper.
Whatever. You just hating. But he trains in the off season. He really does.
Using young people's words. He's trash.
You just hating.
Young people's words. I would eat him up. Yeah,
young people's words. Okay, that's fine. But
playing basketball.
What I'm telling you is
what
I'm telling you is I know the man's personality a little bit, and he ain't the type to go away quietly.
He been in the house.
This stuff that he's going through now, Damian Lillard will overcome it.
I didn't see you in that Modelo commercial.
Everything you're saying is slightly accurate because and I kind of see what's going on now. The Phonics is just basically trolling you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
from the start,
I'm passing the trolling because I'm taking it a little bit more serious. So what I will say to you, Zen, though,
this clown.
Damn, bro, is that serious, man? You want to go take a look in the mirror?
Yeah, you're a goofy.
Because you might laugh. You know what I'm saying? You might see yourself as what you're calling me, man. At the end of the day, bro, trust me, bro, you might laugh at what you see if you go look in the mirror.
Go ahead, goofy. Man. Hurry up, nigga. Hurry up.
Bro, you mad disrespectful, bro.
All day.
This is why New York hip hop. This is why New York hip hop ain't what it is.
Being disrespectful on a microphone don't make you nobody, bro.
That's why the South won.
That don't make you nobody. You sitting in the comfort of your home being disrespectful. That don't make you
In the
nobody,
words of
bro.
Casanova 2 times, I'm a whole gangster. Go ahead, though.
And just remember, Casanova 2 times is in jail 3 times.
I know that's right.
No,
Go ahead,
what does Zen say?
Zen, he was basically agreeing with me. Zen was like, you know what I'm saying? He needs to get rid of, you know what I'm saying, his franchise player. He's not playing up to his potential. He's trash. That's the reason why Portland games are not on TV and they never will be. And we're all happy about that, Flight. Go ahead, Flight.
Yo, but Zen, all jokes aside, though, what I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna go back on your words in another 2 to 3 years, bro. Because at the end of the day, that contract is gonna end up hurting your team more than it's gonna end up helping your team. And where I do agree with this, I'm not gonna call it, I'm gonna keep my respect. Where I do agree with this person over here.
God. You call me God.
Phonics.
Man.
Phonics.
I can
Yahweh. Yeshua.
This man said call him God.
Allah.
Yo, don't spite your family, bro. Anyway, like I'm saying, at the end of the day, where I do agree with this gentleman over here is that at the end of the day, the man is taking money from the team to a certain degree. I'm not saying disrespectfully at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, you're allowed to sign your contract. If they give it to you, you sign it, you get your money. But at the end of the day, is he really trying to win a championship? Sometimes you gotta ask yourself that question.
Right.
Again,
bro.
Again, it comes down to how you value and different guys in the NBA. Giannis being one of them. Giannis being principal, who said
he's a champion. Stop comparing him to champions.
Oh no! He wasn't a champion before he re-upped though.
But
hold up. Before he re-upped, everybody and their mama said he'll never win in Milwaukee. Why is he re-upping? Everybody said that, and don't tell me they didn't.
But Zen. First of all, Giannis is way bigger than this dude right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the bigger you are, there's more of a chance that you'll be able to get a ring, bro. Because I mean, you putting a team around a big man compared to putting a team around a smaller dude.
I mean, if y'all want to herald the guy who helped your team lose, I mean, go ahead.
Nah,
he don't want to slip under Kyrie Irving and twist his ankle, but go ahead, help him out.
Let me say something. Zen, you know the truth, but you have to stand on your square. I respect that. You know that dude is stealing money without a gun. You know he knows that y'all will never win anything, but he took the bag. I
don't think that's the case. Why would you, as a franchise, why would you ever want to give up your best player? And why would they want to leave if they're being treated well? And if they
all the time.
Look, if you're in any organization, as long as you got your communications right with your management, or if you are the management, you communicate the other way. But as long as you are able to sit down and say, look, we got this issue, and this issue.
New Orleans did it.
Let me finish. What are you going to do to fix it? And they say we're going to do this, and that, and that, and that. And then you as a player, you go, could you probably do this instead of this? And you come to an agreement, and the organization's working with you, and you say, okay, cool, that's the package I want. And the shit don't work out, you got to look yourself in the mirror too.
New Orleans did it. They got rid of Anthony Davis. Y'all are keeping him. You're a small market team in a small area. And it's Dame time. It's Dame time.
Dame is about the money, bro. Let's just keep it 100, bro. He is about the money. If he wasn't about the money, he would look at himself in the mirror and he would sit there and make the move, bro.
To where?
Wherever. It doesn't matter. It's called making a move for yourself. When LeBron left,
it's called team up.
No, listen.
No, it's called get the bag.
It doesn't matter if it's
if he's already getting the bag.
It's called go get. But bro,
he just read up. He got the bag. You know that, I know that. Come on, stop playing for the listeners. Stop putting on for the listeners. You have your own channel.
So has LeBron ever sacrificed for?
Stop disrespecting.
Has LeBron ever sacrificed money?
I'm not going to answer that because I'm tired of you comparing him to champions. Well, he's not an NBA champion.
100 to him going to Miami to a certain degree, he did.
Did he pass up a max or something?
Yeah, but New York, stop answering them questions because he's trying to compare this dude to champions. People that have one ring.
So again, you want him to go team up. That's what you want. You want him to go team up.
Regardless, you're getting older. What I'm trying to say is Barkley did it. You understand? Peyton did
And
it.
failed.
Malone did it. No, regardless. But what I'm trying to say, listen, Zen. Look, all I'm trying to get across to you is the mentality. If he has the mentality where he says,
yo, we gotta get this nigga locked up or something. Cause he dominating me as in
before my career ends,
this dude
I would
locked
like
up
to have a chip. Most people, they make the move. That's all I'm trying to get across to you. But he's choosing not to make the move, so therefore he's about the bag. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Some of us would rather
and
build
there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Some of us would rather build our own house, even if it's a little smaller.
Oh, that's an excuse.
Rather than the joints. It's just like it is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Damian Lillard.
That's that emotional shit. You're trying to get into the hearts and minds of the people by saying that, bro.
It is not an excuse. He would rather build his own house than live in somebody else's. It's that simple.
There's no loyalty anymore in sports, man. You know
it's not about loyalty. It's the house. It's the house that Dame built at this point. It's not about loyalty.
It's not a winning house. You're losers.
He's been to Western Conference Finals. He's been to 9 playoffs straight.
What is that?
That is success to a degree.
No, you don't have a ring. It's not. No, it's not.
Everybody's not going to get a ring in the NBA.
No, a player of his caliber.
You say that
everybody's not going to get a ring in the NBA. Some guys put their life ahead of a ring.
Zen, hear me, bro. Listen to the things that
their life.
Zen, could I please say something to you, please, bro?
Sure.
Hurry up, bro. Hurry up, bro.
Yo, bro, relax.
Yeah, you been trying to take over the segment.
No,
hurry up, man.
I don't really want to argue up on here, bro, because you're annoying as shit, bro.
Trust me,
I'm as ignorant as you, but I just got to keep some respect for the goddamn podcast.
You in the city or something, man. Like, hurry up, man.
I could arrow you in a second, bro.
Yeah, hurry up, man.
I'm keeping it 100, bro. I could arrow you in a second.
That's why Biggie and Pac couldn't get along.
Just stay to the side, bro.
This why Biggie and Pac, Brooklyn and Harlem.
Doing too much talking. It's not your segment.
Yo,
it's me,
segment.
Go grease your face, man.
I don't know if it's the hot dogs,
calling me nigga,
or if it's the pizza, or
okay, boy.
If you want to know my name,
boy.
Bro, do not do that,
maybe
bro.
it's the rat feces. I don't know what was in the water in New York, but
hurry up, boy.
I don't know.
Chill out, Fauna.
Nah, you better tell your dude to hurry up, man. So you're supposed
it ain't telling your dude to hurry up, bro. I'm trying to have respect for this man's podcast, bro. But I just don't want to get at you like that, bro. But seriously, bro.
Yeah. We can wrap this conversation because I don't want y'all to get into it.
As a black man, bro, don't disrespect me, bro. As a fellow black man, don't disrespect me, bro. Please,
look, we're not going to agree, and all that's breeding right now is bad vibes. So let's move on. All right,
seriously,
we're not going to agree. I think we're
outrageous, bro.
Boy, bro. How about everybody make one last? How about everybody make one last comment on the subject?
If a white man call you a boy, bro, at the end of the day, you wouldn't like it. So, as another black man, why would you call another black man a boy, bro? You need to get rid of the podcast, man, because you're super disrespectful, bro. Seriously, bro, that's some next level shit you saying right there, bro. But anyway, I'm gonna bypass that because I know ignorance when I see it, man. He's one of those. But
let's just everybody make one last comment on this, and then we move on, okay? I feel like my city and my franchise is as good as any and will be able to do what they need to do to eventually get to that point. I feel like nobody can predict what you have. I feel like we got a young superstar in the wings. We got a star and an older superstar and another star right now. That's a lot of star power. I feel like this team can go deep if they all click, if they gel right, if everybody's healthy. I think we have positions, we have shooters, we have rebounding. I think we got it all. And it's a matter of this whole team coming together and Dame's health. No, we're not going to be great, and we're not going to beat the better teams in the NBA without Damian Lillard being healthy. And what I recommended yesterday when I dropped this video or did a live on this yesterday was it's time for Dame to go to shooting guard and post up in the corner and shoot. Just catch and shoot, pop and shoot, everything but handle the ball and handle the main ball handling responsibilities. It's time for Simons to have that, and it's time for Jeremy Grant to be the number 1 or number 2 option on offense.
Bro, you're a basketball fan. What's bothering me is on a basketball fan level is that you're not looking at it in a realistic form, bro. Like at the end of the day, you're trying to say I'm gonna ride or die with this dude no matter what happens. That's what you're trying to say. But how does that benefit your team? Is what I'm asking you.
If management sees at some point we're at diminishing returns, then they will do whatever they can to.
No, they won't.
Well,
No, they
I'm
won't.
happy
They
you
will
said
have to.
no. Exact. That's
They
the
haven't
point.
though.
That's what.
Well, he's under contract until he's 35. He's under contract
What's
for 4
y'all
more
cap?
years.
What's y'all cap? Zen, what's y'all cap?
That's what I'm trying to get
I don't know off
across
the top
to
of my
you,
head.
brother. That's what I'm trying to get across to you.
Oh,
So that
okay. So how many
relationship
other
is
players?
not. Yo, bro, could I finish what I'm saying, please?
No, you can't. They pays
So, like I said,
Simons.
yo, bro, could you? Yo, seriously, yo,
They
bro.
pay Simons and
Yo,
now
bro,
they pay.
seriously, can I finish my comment?
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Nah, it's the words that's gonna come out my mouth. I don't want it to be stuck on this platform. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, I don't know what type of family you have, bro. Where were you growing up? In the pig pen, bro? Seriously, bro. You need to play this podcast back when it's done, bro, and listen to yourself, bro, because you're super disrespectful, man. Seriously, man. I don't know if you even have a mother.
My bad if I had all set a tone for this with my
you ain't set
my
no
tone earlier.
Nothing, bro.
I just want y'all to get along and everybody be respectful.
This dude already drew a line through that, man. At the end of the day, his disrespect. He one of them white face dudes, bro. He trying to be white on the low. He don't believe in his skin. That's his problem.
He trolling a little bit, but you know.
That's excessive, bro. That ain't no regular trolling, bro. That's excessive. If you was face to face, I will handle that, man.
Yo,
seriously,
man, the plane,
I would cradle you, bro.
Make your point,
I would
boy.
cradle you, but because he's on the internet is the reason why he's so tough. You understand? I don't like internet thugs, bro.
Let me set an example.
You couldn't say none of that to my face, man.
Let me set an example, and I'm gonna mute my mic.
I just want to finish what I gotta say. I'm not even taking
that's
him
what I'm
serious,
saying,
bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna mute my mic.
What I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna mute my mic, and I ain't gonna say shit else till you done. Period. Mute it.
Nah, you could speak. You know what I'm saying? You can speak. It's not a problem. But this dude is ridiculous, man.
Everybody mute. You got the floor now, boy. Go ahead.
Phonics, stop saying that, man. Y'all got to keep it basketball too.
You ain't even disrespecting me. You disrespecting this man podcast, bro. Like for people to come on and hear that, bro. Like that's not even a good look, man. That's not a good look. You don't have no respect for the person that got you on the platform, and that's sad, bro. You say stuff like that on your own platform, bro. That's sad, bro. In flight, that's at the end of the day, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's excessive, man. You allowing some crazy shit on your podcast. That's above and beyond. Like seriously, man. Like, but anyway, like I was saying, man, because I really can't get into this dude right now, bro. This dude is really crazy. But that is not helping your team, is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. At the end of the day, that money that they paying him, they can sit there and use that to build that team more accurately. That's number one. Number two, he's basically gonna hurt the team, and the relationship is not gonna end well. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna have to throw him away instead of just releasing him away. You understand? Because they're gonna get into a position where they're gonna bump heads based on how that relationship is going right now.
I hope you're wrong. Phonics?
He's gone.
Okay, I did want to hear what Phonics had to say. Sorry about that, Phonics. I know things get heated. I'm guilty of that shit myself, as everybody knows.
Nah, bro, that man
we should
don't.
Just move on.
Nah, we can move on, but I'm trying to tell you, man, that's excessive, man. That's excessive, man. That's white. That's white face right there. You know, back in the day, when them people used to wear those white hoodies over their head. You know what I'm saying? You pull one of those off and you see a black face, that's disrespectful, and that's the type of man he is. He's a traitor to his own kind. You don't do stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna let that rock. But that's a position that I see your team could possibly be in, bro. And if you're actually a fan of the team, I don't think you should be rolling with that like that.
I understand what you're saying. It's interesting because on one hand, everybody's trying to rob your asset, and then on the other hand, everybody's telling you you're better off without it.
Look,
you understand how weird that is?
They have a good relationship. The relationship is great. But what I'm trying to tell you is if this man can't play full seasons and his age keep going up, It's like any job out there, bro. Sometimes you just got to get rid of somebody. It's
Well,
unfortunate, but times change, things change, and your team, yes, they are younger, but holding on to that particular asset right there is gonna hurt them more because his value is more now than it's gonna be in 3 years when his contract is up.
yeah, well, I don't know if I agree with the extension at the time when they did it, but he did. So they want him here. He wants to be here. I think
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
but that's emotional, and it's understandable. It's understandable. Those are all emotional decisions. You understand? Because what they're trying to say is you did so much. You see, Portland themselves don't want to get rid of him because he has that loyalty. But sometimes, listen to me good, man. Sometimes you can use your loyalty to finagle your money.
I think
You
you're
understand?
being hasty. I think he had one bad season. He's having some early issues this season, and you're off to the races. I think you need to. This, I gave Ben Simmons a whole lot of patience. I gave, a whole lot of people a lot of patience when they come back from their recovery, because I believe that these guys are athletes who want to be on the court, want to be present. And I look at Chris Paul as an example of somebody who 5 years ago people were starting to say it's time for him to wrap it up. He changed his diet and became a better point guard than he was before. So again, I think these players will go through age transitions. They got to make adjustments in the game. Like I said, Dame needs to get off the ball maybe and be more of a spot up shooter. But to say that he doesn't deserve the money when the market value is going up crazy. One thing they did do when they signed him is they actually, in a way, saved money, because the new TV deal is a whole lot more money, and the guys in the future, Dame's salary is big, but the guys in the future are going to dwarf his salary within 3 years. So
Understandable.
by the time his salary runs out, it's not going to look that big.
I hear
Unlike
you.
Russell Westbrook, whose salary right now looks big.
But look at the example that you just brought up, though, right? Perfect example, and I'm gonna show you something. You see, you brought up Chris Paul. Now, look at Chris Paul. How many
Right,
teams has Chris Paul played for?
a bunch.
Okay, good. That's what I'm trying to show you.
Well, he
And look,
was trying to get championships, wasn't he?
and the team that he just got to when he changed that whole diet and he did everything that you just said. Look at
Hmm.
the team. He moved. He went to that team. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So sometimes change is
Yeah, but
not
he still
always
doesn't.
bad.
He still doesn't have a
No, he
championship,
doesn't have it, but he has a better team. A
and he's
team
no.
that he has a chance
You
of
think the Suns are
winning
better than we are?
right now,
Fuck no.
bro. They
We
were
done beat the
better than
Suns.
you.
We done beat the
They've
Suns
been,
twice already this
bro.
season.
The Suns been to the finals recently.
We done beat them twice already this season. You ain't
They've
paying
been,
attention.
but they have been to the finals recently. I
Fuck
mean,
the
I hear
Suns.
your arguments, you understand, but your arguments are emotional. I'm just coming
No,
with
it's not.
realistic
No, it's
arguments.
not. I am realistic because I know what's in my cabinet right now. People been telling me since before the season, and now that the record has dipped a little bit, it's like y'all smell blood in the water a little bit, so it's time to attack. We won tonight, number one. Number two, we're still 3 games over 500 despite the dip. Number three, we've been doing this with a whole lot of people banged up and injured, especially Damian Lillard, who has the chance of coming back and being healthy. But you're writing him off for some reason.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not writing him off. My argument is not necessarily writing him
Y'all got
off.
to
What?
make your mind up. Is
No,
it is
bro,
it Damian
listen.
Lillard's diminishing so fast that he's not going to be valuable to us,
No,
or is
listen.
it he needs to go somewhere and be a championship
What
because he's
I'm
so
trying to
valuable?
listen to me good. What I'm trying to explain to you is that the amount of work that he's getting older. You agree?
Of
Okay,
course,
he's taking on injuries. You agree?
of
What
course.
I'm trying to say is, not your team, Damian Lillard. If he's looking to get a championship added to his resume, he needs to go someplace where he has to do a little that same skill that he has. You understand? It could be more valued because he would have to do a little bit less. He has to
So
carry a
we're
team.
making the same
Listen,
argument.
let
You
me
and I are
finish,
making the same. Hold up. You and I are making the same argument, except I'm saying that Portland has a chance to do exactly that.
bro. What I'm trying to say is he's getting to the position where he can no longer can carry a team. He's a little
Right.
guy.
We don't disagree. But
Okay,
I'm telling you, Portland has the assets to do that now. It's a matter of will they do it now. And like I said in my video just yesterday, It's time for Jeremy Grant to be number 1. It's time for Anthony Simons to maybe even be number 2. But I want him at point because I want Dame that load off of Dame.
But see, what I'm trying to explain to you though is this, bro. I'm trying to show you that he's trying to do it with youth. He needs to go do it with experience. So he needs.
Well, Jeremy Grant is 28 years old. He's in his prime. Josh Hart is 27 years old. Nurkic is 29 years old.
Bro.
So what? I mean, what are we talking about?
I know what you're gonna label it. You're gonna label it team up. But what I'm trying to say is he needs to go with players around his age that are trying to fight to get a chip. You understand? It's that time. It's that Barkley time. Not the LeBron time like LeBron did it early, but it's that Barkley time. You understand? It's that Pippen time. It's that.
Where would you have him go?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just throwing a team in the air, but him with the Lakers with LeBron.
See that? There we go. That's fucking hilarious.
No, but listen, I'm not even a Lakers fan.
That is hilarious.
No, but my argument is for the chip. My argument is not for the team.
That's hilarious.
So what I'm trying
you know how much I've heard that?
But what I'm trying to say is they're both in a position, even though LeBron will probably leave first. And I'm just throwing it as an example. That don't mean it's gonna happen. You asked the question, I'm giving you an answer. You understand? What I'm trying to say is Dame in the backcourt right now with LeBron and AD in the front line. I mean, let's.
And so, what are we supposed to do? Take Anthony Davis?
No, I expect Anthony Davis to beat it.
What are we supposed to do? Take Russell Westbrook?
But no. Listen to me.
What do you think? We're just gonna give our asset away for nothing?
I'm not trying. Look, that's not. I said an example.
So what does LA have that we want?
I'm just throwing an example.
This is what's going to play. This is what's going to play out all over the league. You're talking about an NBA 75er. So for him to go to another team, you're going to give a whole lot up.
Well, I'm just saying this to you. I'm not getting down to the gist of it with the money and what you give up. I'm just trying to just throw a team out there is what I'm trying to say. A team like that. Okay, that's an example, but he puts himself with some other vets. You understand? That way they could all share the load and he doesn't have to put that much strain on his body. And that's what he needs at this point in time in his career. Even if it's when his contract is up. Even in 3 years from now, when his contract is up, that's what he should think about doing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He should just go ride somebody else's coattails.
He wouldn't be riding coattails.
Yeah, he would.
They will be riding each other's coattails.
No, he'd be riding their coattails.
Bottom line is,
if he went to Boston right now, you'd be like, yep, he's just there to get a chip.
But that's what him being in Portland right now. He's just there to get the money.
Kevin Durant he went to Golden State. That's not fair.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it okay for him to be someplace just to get the money, but it's not okay for him to be someplace just to get the ring?
You say that's your presupposition that he's just here to get the money. I told you who the man is. I told you he's an hour and a half away from home, and that he has his whole family here, and his wife's family is here.
Okay,
he's okay. About his family. Period.
Okay, well, and if that's the case, then it is what it is. You understand? The man's but he's getting the bag. At the end of the day, that man is getting the bag. That's what I'm trying to show you.
I'm somebody who understands.
People who want rings do things to get rings.
Well, people who feel like they are enough to do it themselves, no matter what the rest of the world thinks. No matter what the rest of the world thinks, they do it.
Bro,
people like Michael Jordan who think,
Mike did not get it himself.
We're not supposed to win in Chicago, but fuck that. Chicago ain't supposed to win. They wasn't supposed to win shit.
Mike didn't do it himself.
He pretty much did.
No, he didn't. And I'm not even a Scottie Pippen fan, but I keep it 100 with you. That very first ring that Mike got, that technically Pippen got him that ring. You need to go back and watch that game. You understand? Pippen is the one who put more work in. That was the greatest Pippen has ever been in his whole entire career. Pippen got him his first ring. Because Pippen put him more. Oh, my God. Go check out the game, bro.
You're tripping.
Go check out the game. You don't listen to me. Go check out the game.
You're talking about one game.
That first ring.
You're talking about one game. Who was finals MVP in 1991?
Look, regardless, I'm just trying to show you that he put in. Let's just go watch the game. I'm not going to argue.
I've seen the game. I was alive. I saw it when it was happening. I don't need to go back in YouTube and watch it. I saw it live.
All right.
I saw his ascension. I know the Bulls weren't shit. I know how hard of an ass he was to get them to be shit.
I'm not even a Scottie Pippen fan.
This man changed the entire culture of a team, and I'm telling you, Damian Lillard is the kind of person who can change the culture of a team. Like,
bro,
maybe not like Jordan.
Changing the culture at the end of his years is what.
Because this team has been through.
New culture.
Because we've been through a lot up here in terms of. We've been through a lot up here in terms of basketball.
You guys,
it's not. I'm telling you, he is a culture changer. He is.
Bro, he's been there so long, the culture has already changed. There's no change in. It's gonna change when he leaves.
The guy is developed, and y'all all thinking about Dame in the last 5 years. We've had Dame for 10 years now. We know we've seen his development.
But you're making my point. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The change of the culture that he was gonna bring, or he brought it already. It's on the way out.
We don't cast him out because he had one bad season like you would.
Casting him.
Yes, it is, because he's not broke down. He's just adjusting to his age, getting things right. He's got to learn to be an older guy just like the rest of us.
Let me ask you a question. Why do NBA players play the game besides trying to get paid?
Oh yeah, but you know what? If you believe that you yourself are enough to build a franchise, to develop a reputation, and this is what it is about superstar players. If you can start attracting free agents, and this is the problem LeBron is suffering so much right now, the Lakers can't attract free agents. Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
How long Damian Lillard been in the league and he hasn't been able to attract one?
Jeremy
Grant then in his prime, because Damian Lillard is no longer in his prime.
Jeremy Grant is in his prime right now.
Hear me, bro. Hear me. Well, then, is Jeremy Grant your number one player?
I think he needs to be.
And if Jeremy Grant is going to attract a player, why do you think it's going to be a bigger player, more so than a guard?
Huh? I said Dame has attracted Jeremy Grant, not the other way around.
But okay, if that's what you're gonna say, I mean, what I'm gonna have to tell you, I have to say, what the hell is a Jeremy Grant?
The one who put 40 on your head tonight.
Oh my goodness!
Did he not?
Without
Damian Lillard, mind you, Damian Lillard in the game, he dropped 40 on your head tonight, didn't he?
Listen, man, I could drop 40 on the Knicks right now.
What part of this you don't see?
So stop using the Knicks as your defense.
Look, just because you don't see it, don't mean I don't see it. My team is the shit, and you're gonna have to realize that.
Your team is not the.
I've had everybody on this panel at one point or another in the past couple of weeks be like, damn. You was right. I thought the Blazers was going to be terrible, but look, you was right.
Bro.
And now we lose a couple games, and here you are pumping out your chest, and you're a Knicks fan.
No, bro.
Stop. This is like poor people arguing with middle class folks. We middle class. You poor as fuck.
But
you ain't been to the playoffs. You got no standing.
Bro.
No standing to sit here and tell me what to do with the team when you're a Knicks fan.
No. First of all, I could beat up on my own team all I want.
Your owner throws your legends out of the arena.
It is what it is. All of that don't mean nothing.
He makes Spike Lee go to the back door like he was a slave.
Everything you're saying doesn't mean shit to me. All I'm trying to get across, you're using my team to defend your team, and that's not gonna work for you, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm just bringing you under the bus with me, but this is circular. This is circular. At this point, and I really do want to move on from it. We're not going to agree, so we just have to agree to disagree. I think my team is the shit, and I think that any NBA franchise at some point or another has a chance to become the next whatever. Right. And I don't think you can always predict it.
I like Portland. I think people sleeping on Portland. They're going to sneak up on somebody. Anthony Simons is a problem. Y'all got a good team, man. Like I said, just got to keep working.
And we got Chauncey.
Yeah, Chauncey's a hell of a coach, man. He's proven it. I mean, it is what it is.
Let me ask you this last question, and you can move on.
Okay.
Before Lillard's contract is up, do you see yourself winning the chip, sir?
I don't know, but I'm more hopeful because of the direction that we're moving in, because Nurkic is healthy. Before Nurkic got hurt, Nurkic was headed in a whole really, really nice direction. He seems to be kind of getting back to that. I just don't know, man. I look at the Western Conference this year, and with Golden State being not Golden State so much anymore, the West is wide open. So I don't think a conference finals appearance or a championship appearance is out of the question. And I think if you can make it there, you could win. But I look at Boston, Cleveland, and Milwaukee as 1, 2, and 3 in the NBA right now in that order. That order. Period. Ain't nobody on the West Coast fucking with those teams. Period.
Man, on my word, we can move on. I'll take your answer.
Word. How do you feel about the East?
Well, I agree with what you just said just now. The East is looking all right, man. I mean, I do think the Nets are going to move up eventually, though. I would add the Nets to that.
Probably.
Yeah, they're going to move up. They're going to get it together.
How you feel about the Knicks making the playoffs? Do you think they'll make it this year?
No.
Oh, man. You're supposed to have more faith.
No. I've been beating up on the Knicks all summer, bro. I'm not. Nah. They're 9-10. I mean, it looks good. Because you gotta understand, you see, when the season starts, you always have these teams that tend to start off real well.
Yeah.
But right after Christmas, going into January, February is when you really know. Once that halftime of the season gets here, that's when you really see who's who.
Game 30, game 40.
Right, because at that point in time, most of the time, all the injuries gonna kick in. You're gonna see who's really there to play for real, who's not really there to play for real. Benches are going to be better than other benches, things of that nature. So you got to let the season play out. You understand?
Yeah, I agree. But I look at what I got, like I said, and I look around the Western Conference. I don't really worry too much. I mean, Memphis has been taking some bad L's, but I put a focus on them and say they concern me on the West. Of course, Golden State is always going to concern you. At least until Stephen is off the team.
Right.
I think Phoenix and Utah, we look eye to eye with Phoenix and Utah. And the Clippers, I think their health is going to plague them throughout the season with Kawhi. I don't expect them to be much of a challenge at the end of the season.
But one thing I noticed, though, no matter how much you sit there and dog the West, if you look at the West, a lot of these teams are merely a game, 2 games, 3 games apart.
Yeah, there's no separation. That's why I was saying there's no clear-cut powerhouse in the West.
Right. So even though people sit there and dog teams, but at the end of the day, you're dogging a team that's only like 2 games out from being number 1.
Well, it's not just the records at this point. Like with Kawhi, we got to look at the Clippers and go, well, they are underachieving number 1, but they got injury problems between Kawhi and Paul George now. And these are constant problems with them. They're a high risk, high reward team, are the Clippers. If they are healthy, they'll probably win a championship if they're healthy. But chances are they ain't gonna be healthy. And that's the same way we feel about the Lakers, but the Lakers don't have the depth that the Clippers does. And that's the reason why we say the Lakers won't go far. AD and LeBron will be just fine, but their depth is ultimately gonna catch up with them against better teams. But you're right. The separation in the West is minuscule. But we know who the better teams are. Like Houston, they ain't good. OKC, they ain't really very good. They're okay, but they ain't very good. Utah, they're good. Denver, they're good. We kind of know who's who, but there's no clear power like there is in the East as far as I'm concerned. Boston, Cleveland, and Milwaukee are a 3-headed monster, and everybody else is fighting.
The only teams that are not going to fight for a playoff position at the end of the season is the Rockets, Spurs, and Thunder.
Ooh, Rockets, Spurs, and Thunder.
In the West.
Rockets, Spurs,
right?
Thunder.
Those are the only teams. Rockets are probably one of the youngest teams. The Spurs are just out of it, period, because they're rebuilding. And we already know they don't got Holmgren with the Thunder. So, they need to figure out what they want to do with Gilgeous Alexander, for real.
Gotta love Sacramento right now.
I was about to bring that up. Like Sacramento's, but it's a coaching change.
Yeah, Mike Brown.
They got championship pedigree in the building.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that's gonna make a difference, and I think that's good for De'Aaron Fox too, because he needed somebody that's gonna really show him how to play the game.
So you could see how Mike Brown could make an impact, but not Chauncey Billups.
I like Mike Brown.
Well, no.
A champion.
No, hold
Chauncey
on.
Billups,
No,
who has had this team for
hold
18
on.
games.
No, pause. Champion on the floor. It's a difference when you're a championship coach. All right.
Okay.
He's a
Assistant.
rookie coach.
Championship assistant coach.
Yeah, well, facts, and mind you, Mike Brown has stepped in to be head coach a couple times when Steve Kerr wasn't there.
And he's had some massive failures in his career too, but I think he's the man for Sacramento.
Nah, but it's championship pedigree. What's the coach that was supposed to coach Charlotte? I forgot his name.
Oh, Steve Clifford.
Right.
Big Red Dog.
Right. See, if the Nets still had him, they probably would have been in a better position. You understand?
Oh, or you mean Atkinson?
Atkinson, there you go.
Yeah. Because he wound up in San Francisco too, and
if Charlotte had him right now,
right. But they speculate that Kerr told him this was going to be his last season, and that Atkinson would be the next coach of the Warriors.
Well, there you go.
That's what I heard.
That championship pedigree counts, man. It counts.
It does. It absolutely does.
You understand? So Mike Brown is doing a hell of a job. He got that team at number 8 right now, and you got to give him credit for that. You understand? They're playing over 500 balls.
They are.
And that's a full 360 compared to last year.
The beam is lit in Sacramento. Have y'all seen the beam?
The beam?
Oh, y'all got to see the beam. They got a purple laser that shoots out the top of Golden One Center when Sacramento wins.
Oh, okay.
It's called the beam. They say you can see it all over Sacramento. Y'all got to see that shit. It's pretty dope. I lived in Sacramento for 5 years. 6 years.
What you think about the Mavericks?
The Mavericks,
It's a good question.
Yeah, they're
two teams I want to know, but what's up with the Mavericks?
They just feel like a half-baked, like a really good pie that's half-baked, but ain't quite cooked yet. That's what they feel like. Like they have the potential to be really, really good, but it just, I don't know. Something's off.
What?
And might be Luka's fitness, but I'm not going to put that on Luka. I think, Luka's pretty ball dominant. That's the other thing. He might have to be a little less ball dominant.
I personally think like Luka, I don't think he can't do it himself. He just can't.
No.
It's too much wear and tear throughout that season. But at the end of the day, that's the way he plays. He plays like he could do it himself. With Jason Kidd is playing into his game style, which is understandable. But I don't think that's gonna get done at all.
When I look at the top 10 players, again by the way I did it earlier, 2 players with the highest usage rate: Luka Doncic at 38.5 and Giannis at 39.1.
There you go.
So that's an extremely high usage rate. I don't see anybody else in the league with that high usage rate. They are it.
And mind you, these boys played overseas ball over the summer.
Yeah.
So you're really gonna really see what they're about by the time January, February gets here.
It wasn't extended though. I don't think they played too many games in Europe.
Hey man, I think one of them boys went hard over there regardless.
Yeah, they did.
You understand? They went hard.
They did.
And the problem is not the regular season. With the problem, I do feel both players obviously will make the playoffs. But the problem is once you get into the playoffs, and then other teams just home in on you, are you gonna be able to really carry your team the way you're supposed to?
Right.
That's technically playing basketball for a whole year straight.
Oh yeah. Nobody's carrying his team right now like Steph Curry, even though they're losing. Like I said, he's on a losing team. He's got the highest box plus minus in the league and the highest value of a replacement player.
Well,
that's crazy.
Thing,
on a losing team.
Well, the way I look at the Warriors, I mean, they got lucky last year. I mean, don't get it twisted. They earned what they got. You understand? But
Celtics ain't no cream puffs.
Just remember, Klay Thompson came in at the end of the season, more towards the playoffs. So that kind of gave him a bit of a spark. And a lot of things went their way last year. But they're in a position where they got to play through a whole season as a champion right now. So teams are aiming for them.
Yeah, they're coming. I don't even know if it's so much teams are aiming for them, but they're just falling short. because everybody kind of just expects them to win. And at least at the start of this season, it felt like we all just expected them to start picking up where they left off, and they don't look good at all. After that punch, I'm not sure.
I mean, the punch has something to do with it to a certain degree, but I just think their motion team, meaning that their offense is it's filled with a lot of motion. You understand? And as players get older, you understand, like it's not that easy to move, man. I mean, Draymond is a little bit older, Clay's a little bit older.
Yeah.
We talking about 82 games. You gotta move.
Oh yeah. Clay started to look more fluent again, though. I noticed that watching him the other night. He looks like he's forgetting about his injuries.
And then another thing you can't never forget is that other teams get better.
Oh yeah. One one more player, one more year, and OKC is in your face.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah. Shea's already a monster. As soon as Josh Giddey learns how to shoot, and they fuck around and get somebody up front like Chet. Well, Chet still a project in my opinion, but they fuck around and get Wembanyama or some shit. Oh, it's gonna be a problem.
I think they're about 2 to 3 years out.
Maybe acquire a vet.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to be able to, finagle one they want to come over there. But the NBA, just remember the NBA is changing out, bro. Like most of these vets are, I mean, who you think is gonna be a vet in the next 2 years is actually gonna be retired. You understand? So you always gotta think about that too. Because I mean, LeBron is on the way out. I mean, Steph is winding down. Your boy over there is winding down in Portland. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's changing the guard time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, yo, I had a crazy thought earlier I want to run by you.
Talk to me.
Jaylen Brown's contract is coming up.
Okay.
What if he becomes the new face of the Lakers?
You see what you just said right there? That's exactly what I'm talking about. When I say change of the guard, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So it's like Giannis is going to be taking the place of LeBron. You understand? And somebody like him, yes, will be part of the new guard.
I think Jaylen Brown can carry a team, and I think he's ready for prime time. I think LA is not going to be too big for him. And it's the most logical place, if not Miami, for him after this. But I don't think he's going to re-up in Boston. I think he's going to take flight unless they start winning championships this year. If they win this year, he'll stick around.
I don't even think he'll stick around if they do win either. I think he'll take that and move. He'll use that to his advantage and he'll move. I mean, he deserves to have his own team. And sometimes you got to do that when you're young. You understand?
Yeah. And that's something that Dame's always been number one, back to Dame as a topic. So, honestly, I agree with you guys in the fact that he needs to take a back seat. But I do think he can do it in Portland. And I do think that's part of the change in the guard. I said the same thing about LeBron, that he needs to now let AD take over. After seeing what we just saw, why the fuck would you come in and disturb his groove?
Well, LeBron, just remember, LeBron is a point forward. So one thing I know is if LeBron puts himself in a position where he's trying to put up the most points or things of that nature, and it should be easy for LeBron to channel his energy towards another direction because he's literally a point forward. So that means you were a forward, but you have the ability to be a point guard. So therefore, if he could aim it more towards the point guard end, then they're good. Which he can do. That's basically who LeBron is. You understand? He actually doesn't like to score.
Stop jacking up threes. The problem is LeBron's mid-range game is not very good. Well, that's the problem. And his three game is definitely not good at this point. But
definitely not a 3-point shooter.
He can't create for himself in the mid-range. He can probably get down in the post more. That's probably the real remedy for LeBron.
You need to take a script from Kobe.
Get off the ball, get down in the post more, period.
And that's what Kobe did.
Yeah.
You understand? But I don't know. When it comes to the Lakers, I'm up in the air about the Lakers. I'm not too much of a Laker fan. I like to get at Dex a lot. You understand?
I do too. It's fun to kick them when they're down.
It's super fun. Even when they're up, I'll kick them.
By the way, I just happened to look up the winningest franchises in NBA history the other day.
Okay.
My Trailblazers are the 7th winningest franchise in NBA history. You should know.
Bro, your Blazers are great, man. I love your Blazers. Don't get it twisted, bro. I mean, look, I'm a Blazers fan, bro. I mean, Rasheed Wallace.
Oh yeah,
you talk about what's the
Clyde.
Oh well, Clyde too.
Kersey.
Bonzi Wells.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, come on, bro. I love the Blazers. The jerseys off the hook, like the RIP jersey, the RIP jersey. Come on, stop it.
Zach Randolph.
Damon Stoudemire. Like, come on, bro.
Debo.
I could go on and on. I am a Blazers fan. Like, I love the Blazers. But what I'm trying to tell you in terms of this dude right here, and we're not gonna go back there, but I want him to get a ring.
See, that's what I realized. That's what I realized too in the past was that people only want to poach him or want him to move because they love him.
Right, bro.
So I only get but so mad at y'all because I know it's out of love.
Nah, I want him to get a ring. I think he put a lot of work in. It's like he literally was the one person that came slightly neck to neck with Steph. When Steph was bombing, like people was like thinking that Steph was the only one that could bomb from out there. What that boy did.
Yeah.
He came and let these people know, look, man, I could bomb from 42, man. And
Poor
he did
Paul
it calmly.
Poor Paul George. He put Paul George on a poster from 37 feet away.
Wave bye. Westbrook how many times? You understand?
Yeah.
So don't think I ain't got love for Dame, bro. I just want Dame to get a ring. And I wouldn't feel bad if later in his career he decided to go team up with somebody in order to get a ring. Like, he wouldn't lose no respect from me for that.
I would say if he does it 2 years from now at 34, okay, I get it.
Right,
but I think he's got one more hurrah left here in Portland.
Listen to me, bro. What I feel is that he needs to leave. The reason why is because this Anthony Simon is over there, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I think he's taking a little bit away from the kid. I think the kid learned a lot
that's
from
a
him.
whole other discussion, because, man, did we see some shit last year with Anthony.
Nah, listen, man. The kid learned a lot from him.
Yeah, he did.
But sometimes you need to let the franchise go to that. And what it is, if you compare Portland, if they don't have Dame, you can kind of see Portland as an OKC to a certain degree, but a whole lot better.
We didn't have great coaching for a long time. That's one thing that we complained about for a long time was Terry Stotts.
Right.
And to some degree, I got to admit that was part Dame, because Dame loved Stotts because Stotts let him do what he wanted to do. All that wild shooting from distance, that was Stotts. Mm-hmm. So everybody kind of felt like, yeah, that's Dame's guy, but at some point he's going to need a different coach and a different system in his career. It's just like with the NFL when, you see certain athletes who are stars start to get injured. You start tailoring your offense in certain ways and tailoring your defense in certain ways. I think teams can adopt and adjust, and we don't disagree, because I think he should take either a secondary or tertiary role, but on the Trailblazers, and I think Anthony needs to be on ball. Period. But that ain't gonna happen, and you're probably right.
And my thing is this: I think that he doesn't need to take a back. He doesn't need to take a lesser role. I think he can still be who he is, but he just needs to be with another basically high maintenance player just like him. I think he needs to just be out there with another veteran. That's just my thing. I just think he needs another vet. He can still be Dame. He can still be Dame Time, but he just needs not to have to be the only one putting in all that work. You understand?
But that's not the case anymore. You saw that tonight.
Did he play tonight?
No.
Exactly.
But we won, and look who did the work.
No, but that's my point. You're making my point, because what I'm trying to say is
you're saying he needs to be with players where he doesn't need to do so much work, and I'm telling you, he wasn't there tonight, and they still won. So he has players now where he doesn't have to do so much work.
Yeah, but with him playing with youth, in his mind, he's gonna think he has to be the one. You understand? So when he plays on court, he's going to play like the one. You see, when he plays with a significant other that's kind of high maintenance, just like him, he can still be that one, but that natural help is going to be there because he's going to be able to trust that person that he's playing with. You
See,
understand? I'm not.
I think that becomes Anthony Simons in a way that you're looking for by the end of the season. Because I do think there's an arc for development throughout the season, and I think Anthony's getting used to his role off ball. If you remember all the success he had last year, he was the point while Dame was out.
And
So that blew his numbers up, his reputation up, everything. And the brother FYF from FYF Sports Debates kind of chilled me out and was like, yeah, he did that last year when Dame was out, but next year when he's got to be off ball, let's see what happens.
But that's
And he was right. He was right. When he got off ball, he wasn't nearly what he was last year. But let's put him back on. Yeah. So let's put him back on ball.
But you making my point. But him being on ball, Dame is not going to be off ball. He's just not. That's not the type of player he is. He'll never, even in his oldest age, bro. Dame is not. He's just not that type of player. He has to get into his groove.
We're gonna have to see. And then we got Chauncey Billups, who's a no nonsense guy. He ain't afraid of nobody. So I trust the leadership when it comes to Chauncey. I like what Joe Cronin has done with free agents. I think we're in a good place.
I get you, sir, but see what I'm trying to get across you is now you're taking away from that man's game. Now you're taking away from Damian Lillard's game.
No, I want to put him in a position to succeed where he's not getting hurt more often with these soft tissue injuries. I want him to be more of a spot-up shooter, not exert so much energy. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. Don't get it twisted. I'm laughing, but I'm with you 110%. But what I'm trying to show you is if you know your Portland Trailblazers the way you're supposed to know them, that is not Damian Lillard's game, bro. That's like telling Steph, that's like saying, all right, Steph, I just want you to be a spot-up shooter. I don't want you to run through screens or run through screens anymore, or run across screens or
now that you mentioned Steph had to go through rehabilitation. So maybe he comes out of the other side as well as Steph does. But y'all write him off, and that's what bothers me.
But they have two.
You write him off on one hand, and you tell him he needs to go win a championship somewhere else on the other. It doesn't add up.
No, what I'm trying to I don't. You gotta get what I'm trying to show you, bro. Dame Lillard his name is Dame Time. Okay, there's a reason why you're calling him that.
Yeah, because he gets hot. And when he gets hot, it's Dame time. It ain't like he just decides it's my time to go. It's after he done hit 3 or 4 that we go, oh shit, Dame time.
You is in order for him to get into his groove, his style of play. You got to consider style of play. His style of play is not to stand up in the corner. He has to get into a specific groove.
His style of play.
Yes, his style
was of play. Not to. Was not, and this is what I'm suggesting. He has to change. He got the bag, so why would he resist? He has to change just like everybody else has to change. That's part of getting older.
I get you, but but he's not that old to the point. You see, his style of play is not the type of play that fades.
His numbers are great when he's on the court this year. Well, except for the last 2 games. He dropped the last 2 games when he was probably bothered with that calf. His numbers were fantastic.
Something I'm trying to get across you that you're just not hitting. I don't know how to explain it, bro.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
No, what I'm saying,
other than he needs to move for some odd reason.
No. We could even get off of that for a minute. What I'm trying to get across, because you think I'm just trying to make that point. No, what I'm trying to really show you is that every particular ball player, they have a style of play. You understand? Just like Russell Westbrook has a style of play.
I understand. So, you're not educating me in that. I'm telling you that he has a style of play and he has the ability to change his style of play. That's not that difficult.
No, but that particular, let me finish, sir. That particular style of play is not the type that you're supposed to change, is what I'm trying to get across to you. You got certain players, like, for example, there's certain players that used to, like Rasheed Wallace. He could change his style of play. He used to be in the post, but he had the capability to shoot. So there's a point in time when Rasheed Wallace became a stretch. So he actually went from a back to the basket person that used to get it down in the post, and all of a sudden he was out of the 3-point line. You understand?
Right.
Because of his style of play. Dame Lillard is not that type of player. He
Why?
literally he runs a team. He's not a big assist guy, but he's the type of his style of play is that he has to get into his groove. The ball has to be in his hand to a certain degree. Now, with hold on, don't
So
say
you think he
nothing.
doesn't have the
Hold on.
ability to change his style of play? Just say
What
that.
I'm no, it's not that I don't think he has the ability. Maybe that is what I'm trying to say.
That
But
is
the
what you're
real
trying to say.
but the real point I'm trying to get across to you is this. Why I'm trying to tell you he's taken away from Simon is because Simon actually has that style of play. So they have similar styles, as you just said. Simon's when he's on the ball, he played a whole lot better. This is why I'm
Sure.
trying to tell you is that by Dame being there, he's kind of holding Simon's back a little bit because Simon has to actually acquiesce to Dame Lillard's play
And
style.
there's no disagreement except for the fact that I believe Dame can adapt and adjust, and general management can adapt and adjust, and you don't.
No, no. What I'm telling you that because his if Dame Lillard changes his play style,
And
he
this is
become.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
hold
but
on.
this is what
Let
I
me just say
warned
this last
LeBron
thing.
about.
No, let me say this last thing, and you could go right ahead. If he
Right.
changes his play style, he's no longer Damian Lillard.
This is what I said the same thing about LeBron, and I warned Damian Lillard just in a video yesterday. Don't know if he ever sees any of them, but my warning to him was don't become LeBron James. Don't become inflexible. Recognize that you're 32 years old. Recognize that Jeremy Grant is in his athletic prime at 28. Recognize that Anthony Simons is a freak and Shaden Sharp is a freak, and you can let go a little bit. It's just like when you're a parent and your kid becomes a teenager and you still want to have certain conversations, and they're giving you that fuck you look and that fuck you attitude. Your relationship got to change at some point. Now, if you got leadership in position at the organization, somebody like Chauncey Billups, who is a champion, who has matured through the league himself, you got a guy who can sit him down and say, Dame, these injuries, I'm getting concerned, and I think we need to make some changes in terms of how we play you and position. And I want to talk to you, see how open you are about it. And Dame is not some asshole, from what I can tell, who won't listen to reason. I think he will listen to reason. I think he has the ability to adopt
All
and
right,
overcome.
what you're saying is good, but what I'm trying to get across to you
Nothing's
is
playing right now.
you have a really good replacement. All right. So what you're doing is changing his game for technically no reason because changing his game is not necessarily going to benefit your team and it's not going to necessarily benefit him. What should be done is you have a replacement for him, so allow his replacement to replace him and Dame Lillard could still be Dame Lillard somewhere else with a veteran that can help him more so than what they have, which is youth over there. You understand? So he could still be himself and it would still help his injuries because he doesn't have to carry the scoring load as much.
I
This is
think they're
what
better off letting Anthony adjust to two guard than moving Dame. That's what I
mhm.
think.
And what you're saying is okay, but you also just said not too long ago that when he's on the ball, he's a lot better of a player.
Right, but
And I
he
believe that
hasn't
also.
been a two yet. He has to learn how to play this position. He has all the skills to play the two guard. He just has to learn the position.
All right. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how else to get it across. I just think it benefits the team a little bit more because they do. I mean, you do have a head coach right there that doesn't have to force himself to have to find anything for Lillard. He doesn't have to force himself to how am I gonna acquisition for Damian Lillard. He could just
Somebody
freely
else,
go ahead.
but somebody, I mean, the second you have a star on your team, you got the exact same problem.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is you have a star in the making in Anthony Simons, and what that would help Chauncey Billups do is actually be part of the rising or the growth of Anthony Simons. You understand? Because Dame Lillard growth is already there. There's really nowhere else for him to grow. He just needs to. I hate to say it.
D-
I don't fuck with you.
Damian Lillard is not hindering Anthony Simons' growth.
No,
He's not.
t- trust me, he is.
He's not.
He is.
He's helped Anthony Simons grow.
No,
He's not hindering him.
no. But sometimes, listen. But there's a point in time when the sensei has to let the student go. That's all I'm trying to say. And sometimes it's the sensei that has to move and allow the student to do it. In the NBA, the sensei has to sometimes leave in order to let the student do what he has to do. If not, then the student leaves. You
I'm not
understand?
going to let go of my NBA 75er because my 21-year-old had a good month in January.
I hear what you're saying. Oh man,
I'm not going to.
All right, listen.
I'm not going
I don't
to.
know how we got back here, but
Talk
we're
about
back
off
here.
to the races. I love Anthony Simons. I think he's great.
And he's your
He's
future.
23 years old. We'll give him that much.
Right, but there's nothing wrong with letting him go now. Is what I'm trying to say.
He's
Especially
a starter.
He's
the starter he's the starter in the league, and whenever Dame is out, he's the starting point guard. He's the backup point guard for the Blazers.
That's all right, man. All right, I'm gonna just let you have it. You understand? I mean, I think I got my point across as best as I can. To me,
think so.
You're speaking from your heart more so than anything else because you have a love for Damian Lillard, and at the same time, you have a love for Damian Lillard being with the Blazers.
It's just that when it's hard to reconcile people always telling you your guy should leave, but at the same time telling you how great he is. It's hard to reconcile all that.
Oh, because it's the truth. But
no,
what I'm trying
it's
to
the
say
truth
is,
as how according to
let
how
me ask you a
you
question.
see it.
Do you have children?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, do they live with you now?
No.
Okay, then. That's my point. You understand? Like, regardless, I mean, it'd be nice if they're still with you. It's cool that they're still with you, but it just wouldn't make any sense for them to be with you because they're grown, right?
I'm not comparing a professional athlete to my child who's growing up.
I'm just making an example. Like my example is not necessarily your child. It's just the steps with the child. Forget the child part. I know that's your child. I'm not comparing them. What I'm just trying to say is sometimes you have to let them grow.
I think we just did that with CJ McCollum. That's the change that was needed. And we know our team better than anybody else. We know when it's time. We knew years ago that it was time for McCollum to go. We knew that, and we voiced it as a fan base for 2 or 3 years. I've said that 1,000 times on this channel. We will know when it's time to let go of Damian Lillard, but from the outside looking in, you can't tell us.
All right. I'm gonna let you have it, man. I'm gonna move on though. Another because I wanted to ask you this earlier, man. I'm gonna let you have that, man. But trust me, it's gonna come full circle, and you're gonna be like, "God damn, man, Ted was right." Anyway,
we'll see, Ted. We'll see.
It's coming, promise you. What you think about the T-Wolves, man? Oh, man,
I think they're struggling. They got beat by Charlotte tonight.
I mean, what you think about the new Twin Towers? How's that working? What you think?
Well, from what I heard, Anthony Edwards didn't care for it, but
it's not helping him at all.
Yeah, maybe he's adjusting to it now. I don't know, man. They're 10-9. Of course, it's early in the season. We're all kind of going through that. They got beat by the Hornets tonight. Just you would hope that 3 talented guys like that would come out a little bit more on fire.
Well, my opinion is it doesn't help Anthony Edwards any because he can't really play his actual game. That paint is always packed up, both on the right side and the left side. So one thing I know about that, when that paint is packed, it turns you into a shooter.
Yeah, he's got to work on his mid-range game just to get right.
It turns you into a shooter. And me personally, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I be doing my little 2K thing, bro. And me personally, if my favorite teams, all right, is I don't want nobody who sits in the paint. I want 2 dudes to shoot. I want a dude that's tall as hell that could grab rebounds and can shoot.
Right.
And I want another dude that could possibly do a little bit of dribbling like me, but he's able to shoot and he can take it to the basket. I don't want anything in that paint. That paint should always be open. The only time that paint closes is when somebody's going for a rebound. You understand?
Yeah.
So anyway, with that being said, you understand, I don't think it's helping his game at all. You understand? Because it's turning him into a shooter. He can't really penetrate like he wants to. Because what happens is when you got a big man sitting in the paint, if you're going to penetrate and he's going to be there, the only thing you're going to do is just give him the ball. Because he's sitting right there. It's like you might as well just give him the ball.
Dump it off.
Yeah, because I mean, where are you gonna go? You're not gonna jump over him and dunk. You understand what
It's
I'm trying
true.
to say?
It's
So,
true.
so that's not helping this game at all. It's really not. When it was just Carl Anthony out there, it kind of helped a little bit because Carl Anthony does drop down into the paint also. You understand? I mean, he more so goes in there after Rudy, but at the same time, Rudy's always sitting there. Then Carl is gonna drop down in there, and then it's like eventually the floor spacing is just terrible.
I was looking forward to Karl Anthony Towns stretching the floor and shooting a bunch of threes and making them.
But he's
And
not
he's
staying out there.
right. That's the problem. I think if he wants to play stretch four and he's been begging for it, play stretch
Amen.
four.
Egg,
Get the hell
man,
out the
listen.
paint.
Stand your ass in that corner and don't move. And that's what a stretch does. That's what a stretch four is supposed to do. Stretch five, however you want to call it. Your job is literally to stand up in that corner and do not move.
Anthony Davis knows what he wants to be. You can say that about him. He knows what position he should be playing. As much as people tell him you need to be playing center, he's like, nah, that ain't where I need to be. Karl Anthony Towns thought he was a stretch four. Maybe not so much.
No. But it's not helping the Anthony Edwards, and that's their future. So they got to figure out how they're going to handle that situation. It's
I
not.
say, I mean, you're probably not going to be able to trade Rudy because he just got traded, but maybe it's time to let go of Cat.
Man, but let's keep it 100, bro. They get rid of Cat. I mean, whoever get Cat, whoever get Karl Anthony Towns, bro. Like I'm trying to tell you, bro, that's a winning situation. I mean, his skill is not working for what's going on there at this point in time. But trust me, bro, that's a hell of a player. I mean, the
Age
man could play.
27.
He could play down low. He could shoot the hell out of the ball. Bro.
Perfect age, 27. That's prime.
He could shoot the hell out of the ball, bro. And
He,
whatever think Miami get him, that shit'll be over.
See, this is where I understand y'all perspective because, you know, I could look at Karl Anthony Towns the same way I looked at Giannis and be like, he's wasting his time in Minnesota. People did that with Devin Booker, if you recall. That was a big thing with D Book. He needs to get out of Phoenix.
Well, you see, once he got Chris Paul, that kind of helped him out a lot.
It did. It helped him a lot.
You understand? But
again,
it goes back to my point. But I'm gonna leave this alone because we're gonna end up right back on these Blazers. So I'm gonna bypass what I'm about to say. But you know, once he did get him, it helped him out a lot. And then they got DeAndre Ayton, so they got something in the paint. And basically, the acquisition of those two players helped them out a lot.
But what's that got to do with Lonzo?
How did we get to Lonzo?
All roads lead to Lonzo.
Hey man, look, man. The Bulls. If you want to make that transition, I mean. Bulls, man, 8-11, 12 seed, under Miami.
What would you do with them?
Oh, it's tough.
Wait it out for Lonzo.
Well, I seen an interview with Billy Donovan the other day, and Billy Donovan ain't looking so good. Keep it on. That ain't the Billy Donovan I'm used to. So I'll say that. The Bulls. The fact that Lonzo's not there, their original problems are just seeping out, just leaking the hell out. But kudos to Lonzo because it kind of shows you, you know, the glue that Lonzo is for that team. You understand? So I just hope once he gets back, they pay homage and give him that respect that he deserves, meaning let that boy run the team because obviously no one knows how to run that team. They all just run it. You understand? You got Zach LaVine, you got DeMar DeRozan, two prolific scorers, but you have no one to organize the scoring. You understand? And that's the problem.
That's what the point guard is for.
Right, and that's the problem the Bulls are having right now. They have no one to organize the scoring. They don't have IQ.
I had hoped Io would be able to step in this year and play the point guard a lot better, but
listen.
nah.
They don't have IQ. IQ is not something that everybody comes with.
True.
You understand? And that's why Lonzo was so special.
True.
He's an IQ specialist. You understand? So they can knock Lonzo all you want, but that know-how is not something. It's like Chris Paul. You may be short as hell, and you may think you have an advantage on him, but he
Yep.
has IQ. You understand? And that's what the Bulls are lacking right now. They don't have brains on the floor.
Chris Paul is the second greatest point guard in NBA history, and I stand on it.
I wouldn't agree with you. Isaiah might have something to say about that. Magic might have something to say about that.
I said second.
Isaiah might have something to say about that. Magic might have something to say about that. Okay? Pete Maravich might have something to say about that.
They might.
Oscar Robinson might have something to say about that, sir.
They might, but okay. Numbers don't lie. His numbers are historic.
Oh, he's top 10. He's definitely top 10, but I can't give him top 3. I don't know. There's in the point guard position, they have been some prolific point guards that have crossed your lifetime and mine and prior.
So we consider Steph to be a point guard, but isn't he really a 2?
Steph is a 2 guard masquerading as a point guard. Steph doesn't have that much IQ. I mean, if you keep it 100, his assist game is not all that. You know a point guard when he is able, like LaMelo Ball is a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
When you're able to rack assists up, I don't care about your points. You can leave the game with 0 points, but if you could give me 10 assists, 15 assists, 12 assists, you are a point guard.
Without turning it over a bunch of times.
Well,
and that's the key.
Right. Exactly.
If you got a point guard who's efficient, doesn't turn the ball over, and gets guys the ball in position, that's the key.
Yeah.
And I know they want to talk about this positionless basketball, but I don't think that's the case. I think we still got positions.
Nah, how could you not have positions? I mean, they could add it. They hybrid it all they want. But listen, man, one thing about basketball would never change is height and position. Like, I don't care how tall you are, you're going to play that role. Your position is going to be somewhere. Based on your height, is your position. You understand? I mean, even LeBron. Like, you can sit there and say LeBron brings the ball up all he wants, but he's not going to guard the shortest person on the team. Even if the other team best player is the shortest person, LeBron is not going to guard him. You understand? Because at the end of the day, height is a factor. You understand? So let's be for real. Like, that's just the way the game works.
It is. It is. And the better shooters are the smaller guys because they're smaller and they have the body type to shoot the ball a certain way. Well, it's just a fact.
Well, when it comes to shooting, I disagree with you a little bit because you could be a great shooter and be tall. I mean, you have an advantage. I mean, it
doesn't happen nearly as much though. I mean, most guards are 6'5" or under.
Kevin freaking Durant.
Okay, that's an anomaly.
I'm
talking about the average shooter in the NBA. No taller really than 6'8", 6'7", 6'8" is a shooter.
Shooting is iffy with shooting. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The shorter you are, it's harder to shoot from a further distance. So you got to give like people like Steph and Damian Lillard credit.
6'2" and 6'3".
Yeah, it takes a lot of muscle, bro, especially in the legs.
Right.
Get that damn thing on. The taller you are, you got longer limbs, so that way you could kind of like cock back and release a little bit easier. That's why most big men have set shots. They don't even jump, or if they do jump, like Karl Anthony Towns. Like, look when he shoots.
That
man barely gets off the ground.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, they don't even
does not leave the ground, but like 1 inch.
Exactly. They got set shots. And they too tall.
He got the flattest shot, but that motherfucker goes in, bro.
Yeah, the taller you are, honestly, the better you have a chance of making a shot. The shorter you are,
well, that's because you're going to be closer to the rim, though. Most perimeter shooters are not the taller guys. That's the exceptions to the rule.
I personally look, it takes a lot more work to shoot when you're shorter. because you have to get that elevation. And the reason why think about it, this elevation, so you have to get to that height.
Mm-hmm.
See what it is, the taller you are, you're already at that height to shoot. So you have to jump less. If you do jump high, if you're tall, you're actually coming out of your range or that range for shooting. Because the basket is so high. What it is, the basket is as its height. So you got to aim for that. If you're tall and you jump, you're going over the basket. Shorter players have to jump because they have to get to that aiming point to the basket. They have to get there. I mean, I know what I'm no, I know what I'm saying. I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's a science. At the end of the day, it's a science. It's kind of like dunking. You know what I'm saying? Like taller players dunk easier because they're closer to the basket. But a shorter player, he's gonna have to get a little bit. He can't just dunk off the vert unless he has a crazy vertical. He got to run first.
Bol breaking all the rules right now. Have you been following what's going on with Bol?
With the Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobo is a good player, man.
Oh, he's breaking the fuck out right now.
He's a good player, and he's with the right team. He's with a team where he could showcase.
He's gonna win MIP if he keeps going the way he's going. I say Maxey, but if Bol keeps playing the way he's playing, I think it's gonna be Bol.
Yeah, and he's gonna get himself a decent contract too. Coming up.
I like what he's doing, man. I saw a clip on Instagram today. It was like, why sweat Victor Wembanyama when you already got one? And then they showed Bol. Like, well, you got a good point.
But the Magic's another team coming up. I mean, they're actually ahead of the Rockets a little bit, in my opinion.
Orlando?
Yeah.
I like Paolo's game, man. He's a weirdo because he's 6'10" and plays like he's 6'5".
Right.
Same agility and body movement and even the same build as a 6'5" guy, 6'6" guy. He don't even look 6'10" when you see him on the court.
Yeah, look out.
Till he gets to the rim.
Look out for him.
Till he gets to the rim.
What's the just throw me in a little bit. What's the news on LaMelo right now? Is he still hurt?
LaMelo he re-injured his ankle, so he's out for a couple more weeks to.
I thought it was the wrist.
No.
Like I said, fill me in. I'm out of the box with it. Go ahead.
Same ankle. He had come back and played on it probably a little too early and re-injured it, so probably another 2 to 3 weeks. You know how it is. Sometimes you're anxious to get back out there. Maybe you lied about how good you felt, and then you get back out there and you're like, ooh, there it is.
How do you feel about Charlotte, though? I mean, 13 seed.
Oh, they're beginning of the season. I had them as the worst team in the Eastern Conference, and I'm not veering too much from that.
Hey, look, hey! Kudos to the Charlotte Hornets because right about now, the Bulls are 12 and the Hornets are 13.
Whew. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought the Bulls would be 12. I thought they would probably. Well, you know, it's early, but I had the Bulls going 6, 7. Maybe 8.
Yeah, the Bulls need to get it together. They need to get it together. If not, they might have to make a trade deadline move, bro.
Well, I don't think you can have a lot of success with DeMar DeRozan unless you have a point guard like Kyle Lowry or Lonzo Ball. Just taking the ball out of his hands a little bit. And maybe that's why he gets so diminished in the playoffs is he burns himself out during the course of the season if he doesn't have somebody like Lowry kind of balancing him.
Yeah.
So maybe Zoe was the new Lowry.
But the thing is, we were very high on the Bulls coming into the season.
I wasn't.
With the new acquisitions and things I was. I was super high on them. With the new acquisitions and all of that, I was hoping that they would be doing a little bit better. I don't think, personally, if you're an actual team, it shouldn't. And this falls on Billy Donovan. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're supposed to have your team ready to play. You know, I don't think everything should fall on Lonzo Ball like that. That's not fair to him.
True.
You got 2 All-Stars on the
You got everybody but him.
But you got 2 All-Stars on the floor.
You got everybody but Lonzo. At this point,
2 All-Stars on the floor.
Right, but Caruso's back.
So got 2 All-Stars on the floor.
You got 2 All-Stars on the floor, but are you missing anybody but Lonzo, really?
No, they're not.
And so you really shouldn't be too hit by one player. You're right. And maybe that just speaks to Ayo's lack of maturity at point guard at this point.
Well,
not being able to say, hey, imagine Ayo looking DeMar in the eye and be like, yo, give me the ball.
Beautiful point.
That ain't going to work.
But you see, that's where the coach comes in.
Right.
You understand? And that's where they're having a problem. So the Bulls, I mean, at the end of the day, Billy Donovan is a soft coach. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I've said it lots of times, even when he was with the Thunder. He's a very soft coach. There's a point in time when he wanted to get Russell Westbrook out the game, and Russell Westbrook just basically waved him off, and he okayed it. So once I seen that, I already know that Billy Donovan is not a player for strong mind players. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to break them down. He acquisites to those type of players. So
he's a college coach, used to 18-year-old kids and not grown men.
Yeah, so the Bulls front office, they're definitely gonna have to make a move.
And, I don't know if you remember Chip Kelly, the football coach, but that was his problem. It took Chip a long time to adjust to being a professional coach because he just came out of college with the mentality of being used to boss around younger players and got to the NFL and they was like, you ain't in Oregon no more, buddy.
Yeah, and not only that, they're making me look bad because the Bulls played the Pelicans on the 9th and they played the Pelicans on the 16th and they got smacked both games.
They did. Speaking of getting smacked, the Pelicans got smacked. I know they're glad we ain't talking about their ass tonight. But would you like to roast them boys? I was gonna ask you if you wanted to roast them pigeons tonight. Yeah.
Oh, no. The reason why I don't get into that because I know the fan base is very strong on this platform. And
I like to have fun with it. Like I'll talk shit about Zion Williamson, just lighthearted shit. Like we said last time they lost bad. Well, when Portland beat them that time without Dame, without Anthony, and without Nurkic.
Too much love.
I got on the mic and was like, Zion Williamson was out there sweating grease all over the floor, and causing everybody to slip. And
do it.
Oh yeah, I was cooking.
I got way too much love for Jessica, man. If it was just Sky, I would go with it.
It's all in good fun. They understand that. So when I call them the pigeons, they know I'm doing that out of fun and out of love. So, they don't take it that way, Ted. It's and I don't always call the Pelicans the pigeons. It's just when we beat them, I'm gonna call them the pigeons. I'm a trash your team for like an hour if you're around. If I had the ability to do it.
But shout outs to them.
But that's just in good fun.
11-8, they're holding down that 4th spot. You got to give them a lot of credit though, because they ended the season pretty strong last year. They're starting the season strong this year.
Yeah, we have the same record.
Yeah, and obviously that coach is getting to them. The addition of Zion Williams is helping them out a lot. Everybody wondered how is he gonna fit? How's he gonna fit? He seemed to fit in seamlessly. So
something must have happened to Brandon tonight because he only played 18 minutes and was 2 for 6. So I don't know if the chat room can give us any idea what happened to Brandon Ingram. I hope he's healthy, well, and safe. But something tells me he didn't play 18 minutes for no reason. Valanciunas only played 17 minutes too. And neither one, well, Valanciunas was in foul trouble. That would explain him. But B.I. was not in foul trouble. So if anybody could let us know, he had 8 points. He was 2 for 6, 18 minutes. That ain't B.I. Also, CJ was out, so they started Alvarado.
Well, there you go. That's why they got smacked.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Did Ja play?
Yeah, Morant was 8 for 16. He had 23 points. Dylan Brooks was 8 for 15. He had 25. Jaren Jackson Jr., 6 for 7. He had 20 points on 7 shots. Got to the stripe 7 times. Ja got to the stripe 10 times, but only made half of them. And Conchar was 3 for 6, 3 for 5 downtown. For the Pelicans, I think we said Zai was 6 for 12. Herb was 4 for 11. He had 13 points. His offense is not so bueno. Valanciunas 2 for 5. Alvarado 2 for 5. Nothing really to speak of off the bench. Marshall was 3 for 6, but excuse me, the Pelicans were only 43% from the floor, 32% from 3, and the Grizzlies were 52% from the floor, 47 from 3. So that's a pretty easy call out there. Just bad shooting.
Yeah, and quite a few people not on the floor, man.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, it looks like Memphis was missing Bane.
What you think about this Bane dude, man?
I like his game a lot.
Think so?
Yeah, he's tough.
They got rid of slow-mo for him.
He's tough. He reminds me of Grant Williams with a better jumper and a better finish. That's who he reminds me of.
When I was looking at him last year, I wasn't that into him, but it seems like they like him. They got rid of slow-mo for him. What's his name? Chris Anderson?
I don't recall exactly, but I know whenever Ja is out, you can count on Bane to pick up on the scoring. I know that. He'll put a 30-piece on you quick.
Memphis is a weird team to me. A little bit
looking at their starting 5, the only one who wasn't there tonight was CJ. So CJ is going to be iffy. He has injury problems too. You got to remember CJ had back issues just as early as last year. Or the year before last, he had back issues. Fractured back, if I'm not mistaken. He's had some other issues as well, so expect CJ to miss some games, New Orleans. He's at that point, too. Larry Nance Jr. only played 15 minutes. They played Trey Murphy 26 minutes off the bench. Dyson Daniel 25 minutes. Dyson Daniel wasn't all that productive. 9 points. Trey Murphy was 7 for 14. He had 21 points, so he played a good game. But he was 1 for 6 from downtown. Did get to the stripe 7 times, so not bad for Trey Murphy, but maybe cut back on the threes a little.
Okay. Got another team that I need to get info on. So, how you feel about these Wizards?
I like them, but I don't love them. I think Kyle Kuzma's finally matured, and it's good to see the player that he is. Maybe 1 or 2 more years for him on the upswing. But I like how he's flourished a lot. Bill, I think, is I don't know. I always thought Bill was less than aggressive. And I think that the team kind of follows his lead as less than aggressive. Rui Hachimura is really starting to flourish, too. He's starting to become the player he's supposed to be. So between the 3 of them, I like the core, and then you got Avia. Avia is what, 6'8", 6'7", something like that? He's going to be a problem sooner or later. And he's coming. And then Porzingis, I'd send Porzingis to China for some wonton soup and some good yaki at this point.
Leave my man Porzingis alone.
He's a bum.
Man,
he's a bum.
No, I think he's good for that team. You understand? He got the length, he got the height, he has the ability. He's not the New York Knicks Porzingis, obviously.
Yeah. He ain't Dallas Porzingis either.
But in terms of needing bodies and needing height, I think he fits the roster well. Yeah, they're a lengthy team, bro. That team is long.
They are. Kuzma's 6'8".
Yeah.
Or 6'9". Kuzma's 6'9", I think.
In the NBA, that's what you need, man. And,
yeah.
I think it plays well for them. I actually think they're good. I mean, be far-fetched for saying this, but I actually think they're going to hold on to a playoff position this year.
Well, we got breaking news in the chat. Acknowledgement to Thunder. Says Ingram got a sprained toe. Oh, poor Brandon hurt his toe. Yeah, well, that's how it go.
Messed up.
That's how it go.
Got to get the Pelicans some love, man.
Yeah, I do. I'm just fucking with them. They know that. I'm actually pretty proud of what, and I expect them to be there. I expect Portland and the Pelicans to be fighting it out. 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. Or higher. Could be higher. Could be higher. But I think we're gonna be fighting it out with the Pelicans.
Hey man, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say because we're gonna go right back into this. I don't want to go back into it. But
well, how about Sacramento? Sacramento getting the winning streak broken tonight. How you feel about that?
Sacramento will be okay. I think they're learning how to win. Just remember, this team hasn't been winning for a long time. Yeah. So they're gonna have their rough edges around them.
They got Tatum. They got Tatum tonight.
Holding down a playoff spot. It's pretty iffy because you know the Mavericks and the Clippers are coming in behind them. The freaking Jazz, bro.
Yeah.
That is an eye opener. This team, and I don't know if it's just beginning of the season fluke, or if they're for real. I don't know.
I saw Lauri Markkanen in Euroball this summer, and I said, "Uh-oh."
I'm gonna have to do a video on this Jazz team because this Jazz team is pretty interesting. Yeah.
Go back to the summer. Go back to Euroball if you're gonna do a video, and look at the commentary and look at his box in Euroball, and you'll see it coming.
Yeah, because they're a very surprising team.
Ooh. Surprised they got their ass beat tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, the Warriors are dying for victory, so
yeah,
you know they're gonna come out with a certain level of intensity. I mean, the Warriors are still the Warriors, no matter how you look at them. I mean, it's a championship pedigree, so they're gonna get it together.
Well, check this out, Ted. Mm-hmm. They're 9-1 at home, but their record is 10-10.
Wow,
how crazy is that?
That's super.
So they're 1-9 on the road.
1-9 on the road. 9-1 at home.
Wow.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting number. That's very interesting. But I do think they'll get it together. Are they gonna push all the way up to compete for like a 4th or 5th seed? It's a long season. Anything's possible. But I have faith in the Kings. I just don't think that they have that winning mentality because it's a grueling season, bro. So it's like, you know, a lot of people come into the season pretty hyped, but that halfway mark really shows you who's there for real, man. Mm-hmm. What you do once that All-Star break happens and you get back into the season, that's when you really see the real teams. You're going to see who is there for real, who's getting tired. You got to factor in who's injured. Whatever drama kicks in, you know, real life kicks in with these teams and these players, regardless of how you look at it. So we just got to see how it plays out.
They got a good game on Monday. I'm looking forward to. They play Phoenix on Monday. That should be a good test for them. Yeah. They're coming off. Actually, they lost on. So their win streak got broken on Wednesday. They lost to Atlanta, and then they lost to Boston tonight. Again, more strength from the East. Keep seeing it.
The top of the East. Everybody on top is pretty strong in the East.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty strong. And also another thing I was gonna say about that All-Star break. Trade deadline is around that time. So you also have to factor in that also because certain teams are gonna make changes. They will.
Yeah.
I was saying this the other day that if the Nets don't get it together, You understand? By that particular time, they might make some moves, man.
I think they're, like you said earlier, I think they're starting to come together. You can see it. I think it depends on Simmons largely, and then your wild card is Kyrie. Kevin
Well,
Durant is Kevin Durant. I have no doubts about Kevin Durant.
nah, Kyrie's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about Kyrie too much. What I used to worry about Kyrie is just his ability to play make. Um, because sometimes he does need to. He needs to make plays. He can't just score points all the time. So, um, but at the end of the day, I think they could get it together if they just stay away from the drama.
Mm.
You understand, and mesh as a team.
Yeah, that's been the story for 3 years now, though.
Yeah, but I mean, after a while, look, it's either they are. I got it like this: it's either they are or they not. It's just that I'm not looking at no in betweens. There's no gray spot for me.
Ted, I was riding with him until 6 weeks before the playoffs last season, and I just looked at it from 30,000 feet and said, "You know what? That's enough. That's enough. I can't have no more faith in them. No more." And Kyrie Irving in particular, no faith in him.
No, but Jock Vaughn, you gotta give it. You see, I said this before. I've been saying this all the time. Like the
Right.
Steve Nash thing was not accurate. It wasn't good for them. You understand? They're too headstrong as players.
Mm.
You
We don't
understand?
need a coach.
Kind of like the same situation with Billy Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's technically the same thing. Um, Jock Vaughn is more of a player coach. Steve Nash was more of a probably like a just yes man, in my
Okay.
opinion. Being that you're a rookie head coach and you're playing with
Mm-hmm.
probably two of the greatest players in the league, is like, man, I mean, yeah, you was great on the floor, but you don't got that coach respect. You understand?
Right.
Jacques Vaughn is a different story. Like, even though he hasn't been a head coach, he's been a coach in the league for a very, very long time.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you're gonna have that respect for him, and he's gonna know how to talk to these players. It's not like he's gonna tippy toe around them. He's gonna come at them. You understand? So
I agree.
with that being said, hopefully that's the change that they needed. My boy who plays center. I mean, pause, but I am in love with this kid. What's his name? You want to give me his name right quick?
Play center.
Yeah, he's running center with the braids or the dreads. Somebody help me
Shit.
out.
Oh,
What's that?
Williams. Patrick Williams.
No, keep
Wait a
going.
second. Oh,
Um, Nick
fuck.
Claxton.
Claxton cut his dreads off.
Oh, he did. All right.
Yeah.
Forgive me, man.
Sorry.
But Nick Claxton, man, that's my boy, man. I love that kid, bro. Not
I
gonna
like
lie
him
to you.
too. I just want him to drink some protein shakes and get in the gym.
Hey, man, but he plays hard. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
he gets blown away with
Yes,
physicality.
but he's young. And what's this? Probably what his second, third year?
I like his game, but he gotta get his NBA body. There's no excuse. He
Right.
gotta do it.
Exactly. Yeah, but that takes time. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
takes
it
summers.
does.
It
It
takes
does.
summers. But at this point in time, I love the way this kid plays because even though he's so small, you can see him giving out that energy, like he's playing hard. And sometimes that's all you could ask for from a player. Ben Simmons starting to put up some buckets now.
Yeah. He
You
shot a
understand?
high rate tonight. Very high
Yeah.
rate.
So something's getting to this kid, which is good. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Royce O'Neal is a pretty good acquisition. And
Shit. Ben Simmons was 8 for 8, 20 points,
come on now,
26, 20.6 rebounds, 3 assists.
come on now. I'm trying to tell you. So the Nets could be getting it together. Hopefully they can keep it together. Getting it together is not keeping it together. Keeping it together is keeping it together. So
Well, they got their ass beat by Indianapolis. Well, I won't say that. They lost by 11. And Indy definitely has a better record at this point. They're 11-7, which is a little bit of a surprise. But like I said earlier, Tyrese Halliburton is a top 10 NBA player as of yesterday. I got to
he
see how the
said it.
numbers shake out now. But yeah, because I got a live tracker I'm working on to keep certain. Like, I think your box plus minus and your value of a replacement player pretty much says who's who when it comes to the top 10 players at least. and I'm kind of seeking out to validate that. You know what I'm saying? If I can prove it consistently, then it's something I can use consistently to say, okay, this player is probably the best player in the NBA as of right now, based on this season.
See, the problem is, with this Nets team,
Mm-hmm.
see, Durant can't give you 36 to 40 points a game.
Not all the time, not like he used to.
No, I'm saying he could. Excuse me, let me say it correctly. He could give you that, but him giving you that every single game is not going to benefit that team. Joe Harris giving you 0 points is not going to work. Patty Mills giving
Yeah,
you 3
I
points.
don't like
is
Joe
not
Harris
gonna
at
work.
all.
I mean, I got love for Joe Harris, but he needs to get that shot going. He definitely does. Marquise
I've
Morris,
been
he needs to
saying
get
that
that
for.
shot going.
See, now remember, I was following Brooklyn, so I got a little knowledge about it. I've been watching Joe Harris or waiting for Joe Harris for 3 years now. And he's been disappointed. Remember that playoffs when Joe Harris went out there and was just shit? I think he was 0 for 8 one game.
He was winking every game.
Oh,
man.
my
I know what you're
God.
talking
What a fucking dog. What a choke job, bro.
about. But shooters shoot. And that's what they do. And he needs to just keep shooting that damn thing. It's just eventually need to put that damn thing in the hole, bro.
He had no heart in the playoffs. Absolutely none. And was he healthy for last year's playoffs?
No.
I don't think he was. So we've been waiting on Joe Harris forever, and I'm still not convinced. And that's why I'm knocking him so hard.
Well, that's what the trade deadline is for. Players like that.
That's what Shanghai is for.
Hey man, that's what they do. That last month before the trade deadline is up, you throw that motherfucker in the starting lineup and let them showcase.
I'm all for sending motherfuckers to China at this point, bro.
Dude, if we can't get nothing back from China, then we don't need to send them.
Cash considerations. How much? Take his contract? Cool. We'll take the cash. You take his contract, Taiwan.
We need shooters, bro. The Nets, that. See, when you're not big, like the Nets are not that big, you gotta have shooters. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of teams that's gonna lock down the paint, and 3 is more than 2. Like I always tell everybody. You understand? 3 is more than 2. So if the other team scores 2s and you score 3s, you're going to win.
That comes down to percentages, though.
Hey. Listen, man. If they're scoring 3s, if you're scoring 3s and the other team is scoring 2s, you're gonna win.
All right, but all right, one 2-point shot is, let's say, if you shoot 50% from 2, that's 1 point per shot, right? If you shoot 40% from 3, that's 1.2 points per shot. If you shoot 60% from 2, that's 1.2 points per shot. So shooting 60% from 2 is just the same as shooting 40% from 3. And only a few people in the NBA can shoot 40% from 3.
No.
And only a few in the NBA can shoot over 60% from 2.
Yeah, but you also got to factor in your percentage from the free throw line. And then also you got to factor in your turnover percentage.
That's a big deal because perimeter shooters will definitely be better free throw shooters.
You go.
So their points per shot will be higher because of that as well.
Sir.
Yeah. Now you're going to get less fouls on the perimeter, though.
This is true.
So that balances itself out as well.
I'm sorry to laugh like that, but I didn't. All right, I give it to you on that one. Though. I like how you're doing it. Nah, because that is true.
I'm just thinking it through.
Nah, it went through my mind. I was just hoping you wasn't gonna pick up on it, but good shit.
I'm just thinking it through.
Yes.
Out loud. Yeah.
However,
so
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to me, the most important position in basketball, and it's been proven over the last 20 years, in terms of, well, I won't even say that. I think the small forward position is the most important position in basketball.
Hell yeah. I mean, when it comes to buckets, hell yeah.
I think that has to be your two-way player.
Yeah. Yes. It has to be your two-way, and it definitely has to be your penetrator. It's always good. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm going to drive right past that one, but
Nah, we couldn't let
No,
that
but
one
it's
slide.
nah. We could have because it's basketball sense. But anyway, nah, you're good though. But it definitely your small forward or your shooting guard.
Hmm.
It's always good to have them being able to penetrate the basket because at the end of the day, it's your tall. It's not your tallest player, but it's your mid player, and it kind of helps out a lot because based on fouls and just basically they're harder to stop now because they have the height, so it's harder to block them, even though they can still get blocked.
Right.
Shorter players, if they penetrate to the basket, there's a good chance that they're either going to get blocked or they're going to have to pass out. So yes, the small forward position I would think is one of the most important positions, especially in today's game, because I mean, there's no major shot blockers in the league. Like the paint is practically always open to a
Yeah.
certain degree. So
So a guy like Mikal Bridges, who I love his game. I
shit,
think that's somebody I'd like to see in another uniform.
Mikael Bridges.
Yup,
Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
yeah. Jason Tatum's the Jalen Browns,
Yeah.
um, Kawhi Leonard's, Paul George's.
Hmm.
Those players are very vital to a team. You always want to have at least a 6'7" to 6'8" player that can
That
shoot
wing.
and yeah, and take it to the basket. It
That's why
opens
we
up
got.
your offense so much.
That's
And
why we
this,
got Jeremy Grant
I
now.
knew that was coming. I seen that
Yeah.
coming, but Jeremy Grant ain't that though, man. But let me
Okay.
hush because I don't want to go back on
I'm not even going there.
but I mean, I give him his credit. Beautiful. I mean, he leveled up his game. He really did. But
Hmm.
he's not that. He's not that dude, man. But he's good in his role that he's playing right now. I give him credit. All right, I'm not gonna try to shit on the dude, but I don't think he's that major difference maker.
Right.
Um, we don't have too many of those in the league right now. I'll be
Hmm.
honest with you. If you really think about it, there aren't too many of those in the league right now.
No,
Um,
but Paulo
ho-
was the latest.
right. So hopefully we got a few coming in, but a lot of them are retired. Either that or coming off the bench, can't do it like they used to anymore. Um, but yeah, you gotta kind of open up your eyes too to see how the league is changing because
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's very
The,
guard oriented, and all these big men are shooting threes. So
yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible, but the big man is definitely back. Um, again, most of the
so
MVPs for the last 3-4 years have been big men between Jokic,
those ain't big.
Antetokounmpo,
Those are not big.
Giannis competed. I mean, not Giannis, but Embiid competed. A lot of people feel like he should have won.
I don't call those big men. Those are mid men. MID. There's a mids. Let me tell you something, man. When another Shaq comes into the league, another Dwight Howard comes into the league, and I'm talking about young Dwight Howard.
Hmm.
That's the only time that league is gonna change again. When you got a dude that people are scared to face every single day because of his ability to just get physical with you in the paint.
Another muscle bound
Well, it ain't got to
monster.
be muscle bound, but you got to be a monster. I
I mean,
mean, you
that's
would
what
think
that's what
Giannis.
LeBron was.
Well, LeBron is a hybrid.
You were
Um,
scared to if LeBron was coming downhill, you get out the
well,
way. To this day, you get the
no, no,
fuck
no,
out the
no.
way.
LeBron was probably the last of the major penetrators. Pause. Since you said it the first, I'm gonna say it now. But LeBron is probably the last of the Mohicans, so to speak, because you're not getting that many players these days that it's gonna just take it to you like that. Most people, if they do take it to you like that, it's just they happen to catch an open lane and they smash it on your head.
Yeah,
Understand? But I
yeah.
miss the days of when a dude would literally break you down from the 3-point line and take it right to you like a freaking Sean Kemp. Like Sean Kemp would just break you from the free throw line, pop up, and just take it to you, boom, like right on your
Oh
head.
man, it's funny
You
you say that because that's who Paolo Banchero reminds me of most.
Yeah. So if
And it's funny because he's from Seattle, so that almost makes a little sense.
yeah. So I mean, if
Not
we get a couple of those in the league, it would be nice. It would make the game fun again. You understand? But most everybody want to pull up.
well, we got
Everybody
the
want,
new freak on the horizon,
who's that?
but I worry about guys that tall. And they're saying 7'3", 7'4" at this point with that build. I worry about it. Once you're over 7'2" or so, 7'1", 7'2",
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't built like Shaq, I kind of worry about you playing in the NBA long term. I don't know if you have the physical frame to do it.
Yeah,
So
it's tough when you're that long.
what do you think about Wembanyama?
I've been. I'm looking at it. Oh my god! Look, man, the dude got some skills. I give it to him, but he is long, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's freaking long, bro. And honestly, dudes that are long and slim like that, when you get to the NBA level, um, I'm afraid you get broken. And when I say broken, I mean physically broken because
Yeah.
the things you're doing, once you start getting into that type of physicality, you understand,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of ask yourself like, all right, somebody that long puts on weight, like what would he look like? You understand? Like how does it make sense now? You understand? And he is gonna have to put on, but that's a lot of body to put weight on.
It sure is.
You understand? So it might change his whole entire game. Um, but the boy got skills. I mean, he could shoot, he could dribble. I
Well,
mean,
someone compared him to, as far as Kevin Durant being thin. But I don't
yeah,
see
but
Kevin
Durant
Durant
ain't
6'11", 6'10", really.
Durant ain't that man long, my brother.
Right.
That man is
Extremely
long,
long.
man. He's not too far from the rim. You know what I'm saying? But you got it. I mean, kudos to him though. I give him credit. I mean, that boy can shoot.
Yeah.
He could dribble. He could take it to the basket. He could, but everything looks awkward. You understand? It's like a giant playing among regular men.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not gonna, you know, bank too much on that career being too long. I mean,
It's
I
just
hate to
like
see it.
watching Chet Holmgren all over again.
Well, even Chet ain't that long.
And he's hurt.
You understand?
Foot injury.
Yeah. And you could remember George Murray saying he reminds me of these type of players, man. The original Bobo
Yeah.
players like that, like they
Minute.
get into the league, but they don't really last that long. It's the physicality. They just cannot. Their body is not built for it. It's
Yeah, that's what my concern is with
yeah.
him. So I think he's a project, but I think Bobo is what 7'1", 7'2".
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to flourish, and maybe he could be a model for Wembanyama. I'm looking right now to see how tall Bobo is.
Even
7'2".
Greg Oden was pretty tall, and he had size, and his career went to the wayside also.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I actually did that for the hell of it. But I
Well, look,
mean,
it's time for old men to call it a night here on the West Coast. I'm surprised y'all still up out there on the East.
definitely.
But thanks for the good conversation, Ted.
No, it was definitely peace. I appreciate flight, man. At the end of the day, man. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
likewise.
You brought me up here, man. You done. I be just listening, bro. But I heard the next, man.
No, it's all good. We can. I want us to have those. That's good fun. Get that work shit off your back. Let loose. As long as we're not disrespecting each other in bad ways and calling each other names, have a little fun. Overtalk each other. Do a little WWE shit with it. Let it out. You know what I mean?
Nah,
And I ain't gonna be mad at nobody for overtalking me. I'll just shut the fuck up if you on one.
no,
But
no, no, no. I love debate.
yeah.
I mean, not to hold you too long, but I
Mhm.
mean, this is a debate channel. That's what it's about. But
Yeah.
you can debate respectfully.
Yeah.
You
Of
understand?
course.
I just think once you start getting into the calling people names that are excessive and things of that nature, you're starting to lift your skirt a little bit, and you're
Yeah.
no longer being a man. You
My,
understand? Because none of
my
this is that
thing.
serious.
I understand what you're saying, but when I look at my own behavior, My thing is when I get loud. Sometimes I start getting loud out of fun, and then somebody might say something that anger me, and I'm still loud, but then I'm just still having fun. Right. But my whole thing is trying not to overtalk people too much when I get energetic and active like that, and trying to be respectful in that regard. And I don't always do it the best. I'll put it that way.
You could curse somebody without saying a curse word. That's all I'm trying to say.
For sure.
You understand? As long as you can keep it that way, then you keep it clean. And then me personally, I just like to have respect for the platform. It's not mine. And everybody got to understand they're a guest. That's how I look at things.
Yeah, so absolutely.
That's where I come from. Because at the end of the day, the person who you're a guest to or a guest of, at the end of the day, they got to put on another show the following day. So,
right.
You just got to keep it cool. If you want to be a jack, you go create your own platform and let those fans come and, listen to that.
also, if you got real beef with somebody, handle it offline.
Well,
don't do it on the platform. Handle it offline.
No. Well, that's one thing. Not even to cut you. Just one thing I always tell people, bro. This is online. Nobody's not gonna see each other. It's never gonna happen like that. It's just not that serious. So when you take it to that level, it's just really shows your character in real life. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Because if you're not man enough to call a person something like that in their face or say something disrespectful to a person in their face, then you shouldn't do it online.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just really just a waste of time. It's just time is all we have. It's like we're sharing it together. Let's just do that and move on.
That's a good point. At the same time, I will say people get angry.
Yeah.
And when we get angry, we say shit we don't necessarily mean when we're angry.
Yeah, but it's sports.
So we have to all be aware of that. I'm not preaching to anybody. We have to all be aware of that. I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But if you are going to do it, please don't do it on these airwaves.
But it's sports. That's my whole thing is.
It is.
Whatever you're arguing about, people who are getting your discussion is about people who are getting paid millions that you're not getting paid.
Right.
You understand? So for you to sit there and get so involved in it and then go out there and work your butt off, it just doesn't make sense, just to make your dollar, bro. It's an oxymoron to me.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
But I encourage everybody, to be energetic. That's what people not necessarily want to hear, but it's fun to me when I get, and what we were in tonight, that shit was fun to me. I enjoyed y'all challenging me like that. Keep doing it.
Bro. All I know is that you said you call my Knicks something you call my Knicks. I said,
If you lost to me tonight, this is for everybody.
Back room and I heard that. I came and I threw some words in the chat that I said don't make me pull up.
This for everybody. If you lost to me tonight, you can expect me to talk some shit whether you hear or not. And I expect, luckily I ain't been the victim so much, but I expect some get back. I expect it. When you beat me, I'll let the Pelicans fans have it the night we beat them like that. So I know they're coming for me. And I don't care. That's fun. Let's do it. But as long as it's respectful. That's what it's all about. But with that, I'm going to say, Talented Ted, it's been great talking to you. It's been a while, man. I'm glad to hear your voice back on Flight. Come back as often and as many times and stay as long as you want. As far as I'm concerned, it ain't my platform, but that's just how I feel, bro.
Nah, we all good, man. Like my G, like know what it is, man.
Peace to you.
All right, bro.
Peace to Flight Sports TV.
Yo, Flight, where you at, bro? Please tell me you in the background and you about to hop up on here and take us out with that outro. Because I know I'm out here by myself right now, my G. Oh, man. Yo, Flight. Flight done fell asleep, man.
All right, Tad, we're about to get up out of here.
My man. All right, brother. You have a good one.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Light Sports TV. That's